Hey, Butthead, is this that Watch with Wang guy?
Yeah, he's the guy that's like from China or something.
Yeah, cool. Maybe he'll have fire tonight. Fire.
Yeah, dude, maybe he'll use the taser. That'd be cool. This is gonna be cool.
Yeah, the taser. Yeah.
Shut up, dumbass. He's gonna talk.
I love those guys. How you guys doing today? I hope everybody's doing good. Everybody feeling great. Nightingale, how you doing? Beep, how you doing? Terminator 81, how you doing? Nightingale, Just George, Line 1, Cindy, how you doing? Salty. Gordon, how you doing, my man? Howdy from Texas, Wayne and y'all. Man, oh man. So if you guys were tuning in earlier, you guys know that I was out on the beach with the kids and having some fun. And just kind of lazing around today. But I was doing a lot of homework on a lot of things that are going on in the world. And I'll tell you, I think there's a big war coming. I think now more than ever, there's a huge war because that's about to kick off. And I'll tell you why I believe in that a little bit later on in the show. But I'll tell you, everything right now, worldwide food riots are happening. Worldwide protests are happening. The governments are prominent figures are upping and leaving. It's getting crazy right now. What a crazy crap happening today. A lot of stuff happening today. We're gonna get into a lot of it today. But yeah, today was one of those crazy ass days. Montroy, how you doing? Thank you very much for the 3-month subscription. Yeah. heat with China, right? Hey Wayne, 776, how you doing? So yeah, it's today was one of those crazy ass weird days with a lot of stuff going on. We're being like, I think World War III is gonna happen, guys. I'm telling you right now, I think World War III is gonna happen. We'll get into a little bit of the stuff later on there, but I think it's gonna kick off. I also not only do I think that World War III is going to happen, but I also think that right now there's the biggest divide in the United States of America right now is happening right now. Now there hasn't been a divide in the United States since since you guys had your last civil war. Was it 1776? So I I don't know, man. I think something big's gonna happen. I think something big's gonna happen. Taiwan doing drills, bracing for attack from China. Yeah, it's. I don't know, man. I think it's gonna happen. I actually, honestly, think it's gonna happen. Whoopi Goldberg suggests that Jill Biden becomes Surgeon General of the United States because she's an amazing doctor. The mindless audience of The View clapped like they're trained seals. Let's check this out. Jill, like this administration you guys have right now is like fucking everything up. Things are speeding up, no doubt. Yeah, at a really alarming rate on top of that. What's really messing me up is that once you get into one subject and you start to look at the details of it and you start to explore and see what the motivation behind it and you see what path they may or may not be taking and you try to calculate, then something else will pop up. It's like a never-ending cycle of bullshit that is just constantly propelling itself onto the people that we just don't know where it's coming from. We're being blinded. It's like someone spraying a constant stream of bullshit in your face. You just can't see where it's coming from. I believe we are currently in a civil war. Not that there's anything civil about. I agree with you on that. I totally agree with you on that. But I think things are going to kick off real quick. Like real quick, real fast.
Dr. Jill becomes a Surgeon General. His wife.
Yeah,
Joe Biden's wife, because he would never do it, but she's a hell of a doctor. She's an amazing doctor.
I she's a doctor and
PhD.
Yeah, I
could be wrong.
Maybe
I thought she was.
I think she's a teacher, but
Dr. Jill becomes a Surgeon General. His wife.
Yeah,
Joe Biden's wife, because he would never do it, but she's a hell of a doctor. She's an amazing doctor.
she's a doctor and
PhD.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I could be wrong. She's a doctor and she has her PhD.
Yeah, I think she's a teacher, but
Yeah, she's a teacher, but she's not that kind of doctor. Not that kind of doctor. Doctor of what? Yeah, she's a doctor of pepper. Dr. Pepper. Oh, that's some salty shit you got going on there. All right, I'm just going to, you know what? You guys are sending me these links. Let me get through them real quick here. Oh. And then I'm going to get into some of the stuff I prepared for tonight.
Flew to Saudi Arabia to bring down gas prices. And he ended up bringing back COVID. And one of the consequences of COVID is it impairs your ability to smell. So, hair sniffing in the White House has gone way down.
Boom.
I think all the politicians are just part of just a stand-up comedian, a stand-up show. I don't understand it. Okay, what is this here? Ontario government. Let me see what this is here. I think it's just one of those fucking crazy ass shits. Hey Debbie, how you doing? Salty, how you doing? What is this? So the Ontario government sued over former COVID pass scheme excluding unjabbed residents from daily lives. All right, let's see what we got here. Ontario passport scheme ended in March 2022 following the increased infection rates of the Omicron variant and growing evidence that the COVID shot did not prevent transmission or infections with COVID-19. Okay, let's see what this is.
Ontario government sued over former COVID pass scheme excluding unjabbed residents from daily life. Help Jenny Porter recover from her vaccine injury, Life Funder. Toronto, JCCF, the Justice Centre for Constitutional Freedoms has announced that the challenge to Ontario's now cancelled COVID vaccine passport program will be heard in Ontario Superior Court, Toronto Courthouse, on Tuesday, July 26, 2022, and Wednesday, July 27, 2022, beginning at 10 a.m. EST. On September 22, 2021, the Ontario government restricted access to many public venues exclusively to people who could provide proof of receiving the COVID shots. Gyms and restaurants were forced to refuse entry to customers without proof of having received 2 COVID shots, or face fines of up to $10 million. Business owners could also face imprisonment for up to 1 year for not refusing service to customers without the COVID shots. Justice Centre lawyers represent 8 Ontario residents who were excluded from normal everyday activities because of the passport system.
That's fucked up, man. That is some fucked up shit right there. So they're suing because of that. Well, you know what? Everybody should, if they had the money. Okay, I got this. What is this? Actually, you know what? We'll bring both these links over so we can talk about both of them at the same time. You know what? I'm gonna
guys, is going on.
I'm gonna say what a lot of people are thinking. These young, and I say young because I'm not classifying everybody. Now, let me make this very clear. When I say this, I'm not classifying everybody under one umbrella, but I will say that the black on white crime right now that is going on with the young black people attacking white people of all different ages is gone through the roof right now. Through the roof. It is so crazy that I cannot go on one social media or another without watching some black kids beating up some white person and I mean gang jumping them, like just banging them out, banging them hard. So this is bullshit. Okay, I'm just gonna call it out as it is. It's bullshit. So I'm not saying all black people, but the black on white, it's getting crazy. It's like they know they're not going to get in trouble, or they have to just yell, "Oh, he was racist" or some bullshit like that. One of my coworkers got her first jab last Friday, and she said she's been hot ever since, and she's always cold. Then she said she got really sick after she got it and almost passed out. But I am the conspiracy theorist. Right there, you go. Oh, I mean through the roof, Chewy. Like through the roof. Satan is having a good time, right? So there's been yeah. Well, you tell me what you think of this. I can see videos like this all day long. Boom. Then they run out. They take his stuff off his wrist. They go back. 2 black men. Children, I should say. Boom. And it's it's like everywhere. Everywhere you turn. It's like non-stop. So I don't know what happened here. Critical conditions. Look. I don't know what happened here, but he doesn't get hit or anything, but he ends up turning. And he falls. They run out. Look, they take his money. This guy leaves. He's like, fuck this. These two young guys, look. No, they're going to start looting it now. And boom. Yet another evidence of that. So instead of checking to see if the guy's okay, they decided to take the opportunity to rob him. It's just crazy right now. Absolutely fucking crazy. And you know what? And it's not just these young black people that are taking advantage of the situation right now. I see a lot of white guys, young white people that are doing the same thing. That's why I feel like there's something brewing up right now, because I see young black people thinking that they got the world by the balls, and then you got these young white people that are thinking enough is enough. I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. I had a young guy tell me that him and his friends just don't give a shit anymore if they're called racist or not. They're tired of all the shit that's going on, especially in the local schools. And I'm in Canada, where this shit barely happens. So it's like fucking, I don't know. It's getting really, really disgusting right now. People have lost their humanity. It's so bad right now, so bad. I'll show you this other thing here. Good night. Love you too. Got an ad? All right, we'll wait for the ad. We'll wait for an ad. Who doesn't have that ad right now? Oh, it's terminate. Okay, 81. It's got the ad. Let's wait. We'll wait a minute. This is what Charles Manson predicted over 50 years ago. Harry
Monterey
Johnson, yeah.
23 cheered.
Hey, thanks for the 100. Thanks for the 100 biddies. I appreciate it. Every little bit helps, guys. Every little bit. More ads, less Wayne. Well, I have to run the ads because everybody's having a hard time right now, including myself. So we got to generate some revenue somewhere. So just let me know when the ads stop, and then I hate how wicked everything has become. It's so crazy. Like, I'll give you an example here. Okay, look at this. Total disregard for police authority whatsoever. It just doesn't matter. They don't care. I can't show you the rest because this girl is exposed. Her boob sticks out. So I can't show you the rest. But just total disregard for police authority and stuff like that, which is kind of the police's fault for abusing their power as well. But it's getting to the point. And I had an argument with somebody today, which it sounds kind of racist. I will say it did sound kind of racist when I thought about it afterwards. But I kept saying to myself, I purposely spent an hour and a half going through all kinds of social media platforms, Googling white people riot, white people attacking, white people this, white people that. Everything I could find was like from like the 50s and 60s and so on, 70s even. You do not see this kind of stuff happening just everywhere. It's only happening in prominently black neighborhoods because of the lack of family, fathers, mothers being there for their kids. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe that because you don't see this kind of shit happening. You never. I searched because I got into an argument with somebody today. I'm like, man, This makes it look so bad for the black community that you see these black people, young black people, rioting and stealing and looting and everything, and then they get out and they get in front of a microphone. They're like, we want to be treated less than being like a gangster. We're not thugs. We're not this. We're not that. You're judging us because of our skin color. Well, fuck, man, stop looting and robbing the stores and start listening to your elders. Well, maybe not. Maybe mom and dad had a fucking bad child. I don't fucking know. But stop doing what people are expecting you to do. And then you won't have that image. You can't get mad at somebody by saying this shit is happening, and then you go and do it. Like, it's the same as like you get people that are like, I'm not racist, but then they turn around and they're white racist pieces of shit. It's so fucking frustrating when you're arguing with somebody and saying it's not all black people. It's not all white people. Okay. But then you turn around and you see, well, somebody argues, well, do you see white people rioting? Do you see white people stealing? Yes, they do it. Yeah, but do you see them burning down buildings like crazy and getting away with it? No. Do you see them yelling out cracker and the N-word and this and that? Who gives them shit? Nobody. Can you do it? No. So is white privilege even a thing anymore? Did I think that white privilege was a thing before? Yes. Do I think that white privilege is a thing now? Absolutely no. Just being white, you're a piece of shit now. It's like myself. Just me talking like this will be perceived as being racist. Oh, you can't say that, Wayne. You'll never understand because you're white. I don't need to understand the facts of what I'm seeing in front of me. I don't need to understand whether someone's white or black. I just need to know I'm watching the crime go up and who is the prominent people that's committing these crimes. Oh, black Americans. So when you say, hey, the crime's going up by like 800% in New York City, and you look at the numbers of who's prominently getting arrested for it, oh, it's all black people. Oh, you can't say that, Wayne. You're fucking racist. And I full out got into an argument with somebody because he's like, you can't say that. You're racist by saying that. How the fuck am I racist by saying crime in New York went up 800% and it's 90% black people that are committing the crimes? How am I racist for that? And do you think it's their fault? I don't think it's their fault either. You know why I don't think it's their fault? Because our law enforcement, their hands are tied. The government has made it that the people, it's like they made them feel like they were victims of shit that happened 200 years ago. Even though they're running around with $800 Nikes on, gold chains, probably more money in their pocket than I have in my bank account. And then yet people are sitting here supposed to feel bad for these individuals when they go out and loot and burn buildings down. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying that that's all black people. It's the young generation. It's the young generation of black people that are standing up and using the suffering and the pain that their elders and their ancestors went through. They're using it now for their benefit, which is bullshit. They weren't fucking. They didn't. They have every opportunity like anybody else does. But they're using the suffering of their ancestors for their benefit now because they're too fucking lazy to go out and get a fucking job. There, I said it. Now, I'm not saying that there's not white people that are in positions of power like Congress and government and cops that don't abuse their power and are white and racist. They are. There's white racist pieces of shit everywhere. And they need to be dealt with. But in the meantime, while we're on the middle of a spotlight, then we need to be, you know, while you're in a spotlight, you don't go and commit crimes. It's so stupid. Very, very few definitely don't hear from people in the community, moms, dads, etc. Like nothing. No prominent figures, elderly, are speaking up or saying anything right now. What are they doing? Helps no. It doesn't help anybody. Not a fucking person. It just tarnishes their image even that much more, and it's so crazy. And then the people.
One Yellow Eyes cheered. X100.
Thanks, Yellow Eye, for the 100 biddies. I appreciate that. It helps out a lot right now. And here's if I channel my ancestors, man, we'll be in a mud and blood and beer for right. And then you got people like this. You got people like this that are like, oh, your kids need to change their identity because I can't have children, so I need to steal and indoctrinate yours. Fuck you. I'm so sick and tired of these mentally ill people running around thinking they're fucking normal. And I'm so sick and tired of people that are fucking in sound mind catering to them. Oh, you see Congress and people sitting there. They're like, oh, what's a woman? Are you fucking stupid? You know what a fucking woman is. You know what a man is. Well, you're scared to say something because you're scared you're going to hurt someone's fucking feelings? Newsflash. That's how we got to where we are in society now. We hurt people's feelings. Winners win, losers lose. It's as simple as that. Not everybody gets a fucking trophy just for showing up. That's not how life works. And if you look at all of the fucking history of all the great nations in the world, every single time something like this has happened, they collapse. You know why? Because they take religion out of it. They take they take it out of the schools. They start fucking having all these fucking crazy ideas that they can identify as a fucking water bottle or some bullshit. And then they teach this to their kids, and then their kids get so fucked up in the head that the society collapses, and we are going straight down that road. Straight down that road right now. They took God and religion out of everything. Now, you don't have to be religious and you don't have to believe in God. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're catering to these fucks that are running around, letting fucking kids stick $5 bills in their underwear while they're wearing knee-high grass stockings and shit, and they're identifying as that so that they can get away with being a fucking pedophile, then you know what? You're part of the problem too. Start standing up. Who cares if you're hurting fucking people's feelings? It's not helping anybody. It's hurting people. It's hurting people by accepting this bullshit. And now look at this. Now you see stuff like this. I got to show you guys this. This pissed me right off too. Where do you draw the line? I know I almost liked you for something. Thanks for the rant, you go boy. I knew I almost liked you for something. No, you don't have to like me. But where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line in the sand that says enough is enough? At what point do you say enough is enough? Oh, you can't say enough is enough. We're not done screaming and yelling, and you can't say that because you're going to take the spotlight off of me. You need to look at me, my 200 and 300 pound man body stuffed in stocking stuffer. Like, you sick fuck? And you get off doing that in front of kids? And now you got people giving lectures about pedophiles, saying that they're normal people. They should be loved and they should be cherished and they shouldn't be pushed out of society for their sexuality. Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, so pedophilia now is a sexuality and an orientation that should be accepted? Bullshit. It's not going to fucking happen. I don't give a fuck who I piss off or what they say. That's where I draw the fucking line. And I'll tell you something. I got a video here. I'll show you. This is where I draw the line.
Most of us feel discomfort when we think about pedophiles.
Oh, let me just say one thing too. While this woman is talking, she clearly states that she's a pedophile. If you listen to the way she words things, she's saying she's a pedophile. People like me can't come out and just live a normal life. Listen to the wording. She's a pedophile.
But just like pedophiles, we are not responsible for our feelings.
See? Just like pedophiles, we're not responsible for our feelings. The fuck you are. You are responsible for your feelings. You are a fucking piece of shit. If you think that a child turns you on, then you're a fucking weirdo. You have no place in society. I don't give a fuck. I'll be the first person to say it. If you think that fucking a child is getting your jollies off, you need to get your fucking head checked. Go somewhere else. Okay? I'll just be the first one to say that.
We do not choose, just like pedophiles. We are not responsible for our feelings. We do not choose them. But we are responsible for our actions. And we must make a decision. It is in our responsibility to reflect and to overcome our negative feelings about pedophiles and to treat them with the same respect we treat other people with. We should accept that pedophiles are people who have not chosen their sexuality and who, unlike most of us, will never be able to live it out freely if they want to lead an upright life. We should accept that pedophilia is a sexual preference.
No, we shouldn't accept that it's a sexual preference. Sorry, not gonna fucking happen. On top of that, what are we gonna say? We're gonna accept that pedophilia is just keep our children in a fucking bubble and hope that nobody tries to fuck kids around? Fuck you. Get the fuck away. On top of that, then she turns around and they want to be identified as a sexual, like it's a sexual orientation. We allow something like that. What's it going to be next? Well, this person allowed me to kill them and have sex with their dead corpse. It's my sexual like, this is the kind of shit. When do you stop it? At what point does it stop? Well, I should be allowed to kill people. That's what gets me off. And I want to feel loved. Duh. No. Enough is enough. Enough is a fucking enough with this bullshit. Okay? That's where I draw the line. It's where I draw the line. I'm sorry. Check this out. Wait till you see what this girl says. This next girl.
Statistics indicate that there will be 1 or 2 of you who are struggling with some form of pedophilic interest. These people can't talk about their feelings because they know that they will be hated for it.
Damn right.
I truly do believe that every person is longing for love at some point in their life. And what if this love that you really wish for will forever be impossible? That must be a really lonely situation to be in. Yes, from an emotional point of view, I can kind of understand that you would want to eliminate these people from society. However, it doesn't make sense. And that's because we're talking about biology. We're talking about a sexual orientation. Something that we simply cannot change. And on top of that, every day new people are born with the same difficulty. So it's not practical to eliminate these people from society. They haven't done anything wrong.
Oh yeah, they haven't done anything wrong except for wanting to fuck your child. And we're not supposed to get mad. No, don't get mad. You can't.
All right,
say,
man, load your weapon.
Don't say nothing. Don't get mad. Don't say it. Don't. You can't say nothing against it, right? Oh, heaven forbid you say anything about that, right? Now, sorry. If Buddy sits there and he's sitting there at the playground looking like this, sorry, you need to bounce, buddy. You need to fuck off. This is where you don't get no. Imagine your 8-year-old comes home and says, "Oh, he's my new baby. He's my mommy, or he's my girlfriend, or my boyfriend." Get the fuck away from my child. Where do you draw the line? At what point do you say enough is enough? At what point do you say stop? When you're making me upset. I don't want to stop. Yeah, you need to. Yellow Eye, thank you very much for the subscription. Appreciate that. Oh, yeah, we dropped on our subs quite a bit, eh? Oh, well. It is what it is. We'll get them back up. Yeah, they'll put them on... Like I'm not saying... Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they need to be killed and eliminated. But they need help. They need help. You need to get help. If you fall into that category and you think that young children are fucking sexy in any way, you need to get help. I think none of it's acceptable. None of it. There's nothing about any of this that I think that is acceptable. They should be on. Well, listen, I know people. I've seen interviews with people that have not done anything to children, but confess that they have tendencies. And I think that people like that, like we watched a video not that long ago where a guy was openly coming out with the fact that he was attracted to kids, but he knows that it's the law and he would never do it. Anybody who's open about it. So I think that people are like that. Pig farms, right? I think people that are coming out and saying, listen, this is my problem. I'm going to see a doctor. I'm trying to get help. Good on you. Congratulations. You're doing something about it. It's these fucking sneaky, slimy little fucks that are running around waiting for a helpless child. They need to be like, if you put the death penalty on somebody that touches a minor in a sexual manner, any way, shape, or form, actually commits it, like somebody that commits an act of sexual stuff on a child gets the death penalty, you want to see how fast that drops? Watch how fast that would drop. People would sit there and be like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, my back. People would be like, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to have to think this one through. I say if you sexually assault a child in any way, shape, or form, you're sexual with a child, physically, death penalty. Because you've ruined that child. That child will never grow up to its full potential. It will grow up with scars on that will live for the rest of its life. I've seen people that have been sexually molested, and some of them don't ever fucking none of them. Some of them don't recover from it, and some recover, but not truly recover. They mask what has happened to them. They mask what's happened to them. They suppress it. But the scar tissue's there, just some hide it better than others. Wayne, the theory against the death penalty says that if that's the law, then the pedo will just kill the kid anyway due to the punishment. Well, if that... yeah, I see what you're saying, but you would get a lot of people not wanting to go down that road. Snip, snip. Well, if you don't want to do the death penalty thing, then I say we designate an island that has fresh water on it. That's it. And you just keep throwing them over there. Like, be like Escape from New York. The survival of the fittest. You surround that fucking island with fucking bombs and mines and shit, and you bring them there and you just say, here you go. Fuck each other. Have a nice day. You're not killing them, but they're away from society and children where they can hurt children. There you go. For your pleasure. Give them a choice. Death penalty or you go to the island. Which one do you fucking want? Which one do you want? And then just have them fight it out. Fuck it. They'll all be sitting out there fucking buttholes this fucking big. To be the only island that never farts. All right. Anyways, new topic. Let's get on to something else. English called it Australia. Yeah. Just windy island. Every once in a while, you just drop off just enough food for half of the population. Then you let them figure it out. Yeah. Yeah. Treated them too good. I myself believe in the death penalty. I'm saying choices. I'm all about choices. So I say fucking give them a choice. And if they try to escape from the island, they get put down. There you go. That would be. And then you put one person on. Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah. All right, let's get into some other shit here. speaking of, this is an uncanny resemblance here. Like an extremely uncanny resemblance. What do you think the coincidences are? Is he a double agent? Maybe society should deal with it and the government doesn't give a crap. I say, yeah, well, the problem with that is you'd have too many wrong things happening. All right, let's see what we got here. So I got my, so guys, this weekend I'm getting my COVID shots, I'm getting my first shot and second shot, and then I'm going to get my boosters right after. I know you guys, I know how you guys feel about the shots, but I think you guys, once you hear me out, you will have your shots with me. How much you want to bet that I can convince you to have a COVID shot with me? Uncle Wayne? I bet you. Right here. I'm going to have my first COVID shot, and then I'm going to have my second COVID shot, and then I'm going to have booster shots all night long. All right? Who's with me this weekend? You with me? You guys really think that I'm fucking that sick to go get my shot? I'm not that crazy in the head. Let's do it. Right there. I'll drive probably shots. All right. Here we go. I'll get back to you on that one. There we go. All right. So first shot, second shot, and we're going to get booster shots throughout the night. Not starting now. Well, yeah, well, if you haven't drank in 35 years, you can drink Freshie. You can do shots with us, but you got to drink. You know what you got to drink? Yellow Eye? You got to drink the most sour candy juice you can find. That's what you got to drink. Something like really, really bittersweet sour. So when we do a shot, you do a shot of sour. My tongue is getting watery just thinking about it. You do like a sour shot. Unless that's going to trigger you. I don't want to trigger you either. Sparkling cider. Sorry, caps. Yeah, I was going to talk about the caps there, but it's okay. We'll let it slide this time there, Salty. The caps was kind of like, whoa, what the fuck there? I was about to say something. Get some pineapple juice. But yeah, I don't want to trigger anybody that has problems or anything like that. So I found my new neighborhood cat. The other one was cheating on me. So here's my new cat. Check it out. Fucking getting ready for the end of the world. See that? Right there. That's my fucking cat right there. Getting ripped, baby. Pump it, kitty. Pump it. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Just saying. It's getting pumped. Getting ready for the shit. The eye of the tiger right there. Right? All right. So I'm far enough on my list here. Now that I'm gonna play this here, and then we're gonna go back into it. Check this out. We'll play this, and then we'll get into some other topics here.
You're okay. You're not gonna get COVID if you have these vaccinations. Hey, folks, guess you heard this morning I tested positive for COVID.
And when people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected.
Dr. Fauci says he has COVID again.
If you've done the right thing and gotten vaccinated, you deserve the freedom to be safe from COVID-19. And this morning, I learned I tested positive for COVID-19 as well.
With 3 doses that you can prevent it not just from serious illness, but from getting this virus, this Omicron variant, and therefore giving it to others.
Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews is in quarantine for 7 days after testing positive to COVID.
I'm fully vaccinated. It gives me some comfort.
Anthony Albanese has just tested positive for coronavirus.
Having received 2 doses of AstraZeneca, it's a very effective vaccine, protection from symptomatic illness and therefore risk of transmission to others.
You're okay. You're not gonna get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
What kind of place
You're okay.
is
You're not gonna get COVID if you got vaccinated. And then then you hear all these conspiracy theory people turning around talking about, oh, well, you know what? It's just to bring in a digital ID, a digital passport, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, you crazy conspiracy theory people, check this out.
And here is mine. So everyone who is fully vaccinated or tested negative or has recovered from COVID can get one. And we have right now 15 member states that have already signed up. And from the 1st of July, all 27 member states have to apply these EU digital certificates for.
Sorry, guys. Woo!
The COVID. I am planning now to start my tour through 27 member states for the Next Generation EU, our Recovery and Resilience plan, and I'm very curious to test and to see how this certificate will work. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We're going to see how this shit works. Oh, there we go. Got some cracking going on here. I've had COVID 3 times with health issues. Hello, I'm still alive. Right? That's what I'm saying. I've had it twice now. And I'm not saying COVID's not real or whatever, but just saying, why is she saying it in England? I don't. That's where they test everything. They're testing everything there. Look at this.
Mine, but it looks very, very much.
Okay, they're talking about that now. Now that he has COVID, and okay, so now that Dr. Fauci has COVID, or Joe Biden has COVID, and is contagious after 4 shots, Joe Biden has absolutely zero moral authority to force needles into the military, federal employees, medical workers, and foreign visitors. A freaking men to that. I totally agree with that.
To put it in law, there may be litigation, but we will be in a much better position than to not do that. And, you know, listen, women are getting pregnant every day in America, and this is a real issue, and we need to act with a sense of haste about what is at play, what is at stake, and codifying Roe will be an important moment in terms of putting back in place protections for the folks who are at risk right now because of what the court did in Dobbs just weeks ago. To put it in.
Da. Superman 01. How you doing, Superman 01? Got that. You see that? People in the U.S. have trouble having a picture ID for voting. Don't need a fairly new cell phone to use these apps. Yeah, you do. You need a real good cell phone.
Weeks back, Janet
Where was this? Okay. Okay. Did you guys know? Where was this? On the second day that Biden was in office, he rescinded Trump's executive order to help combat child sex trafficking. Did you know that? The second day he rescinded Donald Trump's executive order to do that? Isn't that fucked up? That's some messed up shit, man. All right. Let's hear.
V word on TikTok because I'm just about to. And am I allowed to say the V word on TikTok because I'm just about to, and we're just going to see how that goes. Vaccine. Let's talk about it. So in 2020, I had just won a fitness competition. I had maybe had a small patch of eczema on my hand, maybe my inner arm here, and that was it. Never on my face. Never, ever, ever, ever. I had my eczema so well under control for 29 years that at that point, I was not actively working with a dermatologist. But let me tell you this. After every vaccine shot, and I had 3, my eczema got worse. And I'm not saying that the vaccine triggered my TSW. I think it was a full, perfect storm, clusterfuck of things that happened to me. So as my skin got worse, I get told that I need to go see a dermatologist. So I go to the dermatologist, and the dermatologist prescribes me stronger and stronger creams. He says, oh my God, you're worsening eczema. You need to go on Glycospor. You need to go on methotrexate. These are drugs for people that are undergoing cancer treatments. And I was putting it in my body and just blindly doing what the doctors are telling me. Fast forward to January of 2022, I go in full-blown TSW withdrawals. I was shaking cold. I couldn't regulate my heat. I was oozing metallic liquid out of my skin. I was gaining weight even though I wasn't eating. I literally just enjoyed myself last night and had crispy cauliflower, and this is what happened to me. So, man, if I can't even begin to tell you how upset I am. Holy hell. Do you know that I'm paying $1,164 on a medication called Dupixent? By the way, that's half off. On a drug that I did not need prior to this, prior to the vaccines, prior to. Sorry, OMG. I'm just so freaking fucking fed up. I don't want to be that person that fucking cries on this app, but God fucking damn it. Really? Like, I feel like my whole life's been stripped from me. This is so freaking painful. Yeah, I'm that person that cries on this app, but it's not about a boy. It's about my freaking life. Anyone else? Anyone else notice this? Like, I was literally just following doctor's orders, following the government mandates, and now this is my life. Am I allowed to say?
Following orders and doing what she was told by her medical professionals ended up getting her. That's her story. I'm not going to comment too much on it. You guys know what I feel about that, but yeah, this is where we're at now. This is exactly where we're at. There's no doubt in my mind.
Down as the
right here. Check this out.
This vaccine campaign, it will go down as the biggest scandal in medical history, and moreover, it will be known as the biggest crime ever committed on humanity.
I agree with her. This vaccine will. The sheep are awakening. The painful way, yeah. Painful way they're wakening up. So look at this. Apparently the Joe Biden administration, the baby food problem was not important enough. They said they had it fixed. Nobody checked it up. Look at, there's still a shortage of baby food. Look at, these are all empty. Empty. Baby food shortage is still a thing. How long did you think that was going to last? No eggs in certain places. Look at this. Absolutely no eggs anywhere. No eggs. Food shortages are starting to happen. Starting to pop up. I'm getting emails like crazy all over the country. United States and Canada. Their stores are starting to go slowly, starting to go empty.
In source of pleasure.
Yeah. Now, look at this. The World Economic Forum calls for an end to private car ownership. Look at this. What you want, you'll rent. Whatever you want, you'll rent, and it will be delivered by drone. The U.S. won't be the world's leading superpower. A handful of countries will dominate. You won't die waiting for an organ donor. We won't transplant organs, we'll print new ones instead. You'll eat much less meat and occasionally treat on a staple of occasionally treat a treat not as stable or good for the environment and your health. Billions of people will be displaced by climate change. We'll have to do better jobs at welcoming and integrating refugees. Does that include underwear? I'm not sure I want to wear rented underwear. Yeah, you got to wear rented underwear. Definitely you, Harry Johnson. After you're done, probably hair follicles in it. You could prepare to go to Mars. No, I'm trying to read the chat. That's what I'm trying to read. My pants are off. No more grills. World Economic Forums. No, I was trying to read the chat. I was reading that for a bit and realized that my picture wasn't overlapping the reading or the text. So I just started reading the chat. Is that all right with you, Mac? Who wears pants while chatting? I don't. I don't wear pants. Okay, let's see here. We got. They're trying to make the story of Star Trek reality. Yeah, exactly. Okay, here, let's play this.
My name is Luis. Today is July 25th, 2022, and welcome to the Grand Supreme News Channel. Before I start, guys, give this video a big thumbs up and share this video. We got some breaking news updates, and guys, we have some huge information coming out. 400,000 soldiers and more than 1,000 modern tanks. A member from the NATO is building the largest ground forces in Europe. Now, let me show you a couple of pictures here, guys. There's got to be at least more than 1,000 tanks. So this is one of the members of NATO. Let me just kind of highlight the name right here. 400,000 man soldiers. That is huge. That's like WW3 style right there. And here's another picture. I mean, that's got to be more than 1,000 tanks. Give me a second. So even the sleeping giants got their stuff in there too. Yeah, so you have the sleeping giant. You have 1,000 plus modern main battle tanks. And again, like I said, it got to be more than 1,000. It's got to be way up there. So 2 days ago, I posted a video, very important video, that the Bear sent their stuff to. Let me just bring it up so you guys can see it really quick. The Bear has also sent more than 1,000 tanks. Here we go. You have a train filled with Bear tanks. Train loads of additional Bear armored arriving against the Yellow and Blue country. A giant escalation is coming. So you guys seen the video. I'm gonna leave the link in the comments box. But look at all them.
They don't have to switch their tanks to electricity. We lifted all the sanctions. They have all the oil they need.
Tanks. This is from the Bear. So you best believe something big is coming. It's just a matter of time. This is why they're telling people to get out of Dodge. You better get out of there. There is a travel advisory going on. So this is what they're saying. This is 3 times bigger than what took place in the beginning, well, in the middle of February. That's when everything started to happen. The Bear went inside of that country and started doing their thing, the operation, and that's when everything started escalating. So, but this one here is going to be worse. This one here is going to be worse. At the same time, you have the Red Dragon telling the Sleeping Giant to keep that woman in the Sleeping Giant country. If she comes to the island Taiwan, then it's going to be game on. So once again, guys, Poland is moving in stuff. 400,000 man army with 1,000 main battle tanks. All right, guys, before I start, give this video a big thumbs up.
1,000 tanks. Something's gonna be going on. Poland is very nationalist. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Let's see what we got here.
Condemn the Burmese military's executions of pro-democracy. You all heard this from the Secretary this morning, but I think it bears repeating, and that is we strongly condemn the Burmese military's executions of pro-democracy activists and elected leaders. These heinous acts of violence demonstrate the regime's brutality in a new and horrible light, and we remain concerned it also reflects an ongoing disregard for the human rights and rule of law. Not only is this an affront to the human rights of the Burmese people, not only is it a slap in the face to the millions of Burmese who wish to see their country back on the path to democracy, it's also a direct rebuke of the appeal that the junta heard and the world heard from the ASEAN chair, Cambodia, in this case, and other ASEAN leaders who warned the junta in no uncertain terms not to carry out these executions.
Harry Johnson, we'll get into that global warming stuff.
That with the escalating violence, with these horrific atrocities that the junta has carried out, there can be no business as usual with this regime. We urge all countries to ban the sale of military equipment to Burma, to refrain from lending the regime any degree of international credibility, and we call on ASEAN to maintain its important precedent, only allowing Burmese non-political representation at regional events.
Yeah, exactly. We tell them what they can do, but they're doing it. They're doing exactly what they don't want other people to do. We strongly protest. They say so. Just so. Speaking of protest, do you see this? This is congressional staffers are staging a sit-in right now at the Senate office to protect on behalf of climate change. Look at this.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us stronger. Solidarity forever.
Her sign right here says climate policy now. Police now. Policy. Huh? Dumbasses. CERN, HARP, it's true. It's all of it. All of it. Chuckling friends, I can smell the soy from here. You damn straight you can. Okay, let me see what we got here. We got this here. I can close this here.
Just ask you why you've come here from Holland.
Ik praat in Nederlands, toch?
Oh, ja, maar kunnen we dit in Engels doen?
Yeah, we can do it in English, yeah.
That's better for, I mean, I speak Dutch, but I don't think anyone watches that.
What channel?
We're from Newsnight on the BBC.
BBC?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Really?
Fuck off, BBC, mate.
Is that the BBC?
Hey, fuck off, mate.
Oh, yeah. This guy will make nonsense. Just ask you why you've come here from Holland.
Ik praat in Nederlands, toch?
Oh, ja, maar kunnen we dit in Engels doen?
Yeah, we can do it in English, yeah.
That's better for, I mean, I speak Dutch, but I don't think anyone watches that.
What channel?
We're from Newsnight on the BBC.
BBC?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Really?
Fuck off, BBC, mate.
Is that the BBC?
Hey, fuck off, mate.
Oh, yeah. This guy will make nonsense.
Yeah, just fuck off. I heard a guy explain why the Dems are calling it an insurrection. You can't run for press if you were involved in any insurrection. That's right. You got it. And that's why they're trying to paint Donald Trump as being the leader of the insurrection, so that they're going to try to block him from being able to run for president again. You watch. Mark my words. They're going to try to block him. It's exactly what they're going to do.
Friends, fellow conservatives, greetings. I haven't talked to you like this in a while, and much has transpired. Our party, once again, has a leadership race underway. In this particular race, there's been a lot of speculation about whom I support or do not support and why. So it may be useful for my fellow party members to hear my views straight from me. It's a strong field, but one candidate has garnered disproportionate attention. Pierre Poilievre was a strong minister in my government. In the past several years, he's been our party's most vocal and effective critic of the Trudeau Liberals. He's been talking about the issues, especially the economic issues, that matter: slow growth, debt, inflation, lack of job and housing opportunities, and the need to fix the institutions that are failing Canadian families. He's proposing answers rooted in sound conservative ideas, but ones adapted for today's realities. That's why he has the strong support of our caucus and our existing membership, and why he is bringing the most new members and a new generation into our party. That's how we win the next federal election. And in my opinion, Pierre has made by far the strongest case that he is the person to do that. I know, of course, that others, including some of my friends, may disagree with me.
He's got a strong
respect
cock.
their views. But I thought you would like to know what my opinion actually is. Thank you for listening. God bless all of you, and God bless Canada.
I like how he used God at the end of that. You don't hear people saying that anymore. Recruitment is down. We have no idea why in the United States. Why is the recruitment down? All right, what do we got here? Boom. Let's see. The recruitment's down. We don't know why. Stephen Harper is a puppet like all leaders, of course.
Like, why is it that the women with the least likelihood of getting pregnant are the ones most worried about having abortions?
Oh.
Nobody wants to impregnate you if you look like a thumb.
Is it safe to say that based off of your comments, you're suggesting that these women at these abortion rallies are ugly and overweight?
Yes.
What do you say to people who think that those comments are offensive?
Be offended.
Are offensive.
Be offended.
Be offended. Isn't this what I just said at the beginning of the show? I'm so sick and tired of being offended. Well, that's your right. You know what the nice thing about this is? You have the right to be offended, and I have the right to offend you. So simple. If you're offended by what I say, have a nice day. Be offended. Just be offended then. Fuck it. Who cares? The boy who was previously been arrested for possession of a loaded gun and robbery was released the next day on his own recognizance, police sources say. Check this out. Where is this? Is this going to load? It's just sitting here. So look at this. So this guy had a gun. He had a gun, and look at him fight. Actually, I got a better video of this. Hold on. I have a better video of this. Give me a sec here. Actually, no, we'll just use that one. Look at him. He's fighting with the cop. Boom. Boom. This guy puts a cop in a headlock, has a gun, and then gets out the next day on his own recog. Look at this. He didn't ask to change the channel. Yeah, exactly. So this guy fights like that, okay? Fights with the cops that way, And the video was captured a 16-year-old boy punching and grappling with the New York police cop who confronted him after allegedly jumping the transit in Manhattan over the weekend. The boy, who was previously been arrested for possession of a loaded gun and robbery, was released the next day on his own recognizance, and the police source said. So he was out. He just got out for having a handgun. And then he just gets into a fist fight with the guy, and then he got released again. Wayne is challenge. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? ECAPs. Cops have to be careful not to hurt people. Yeah. And you notice they had guns and tasers and they didn't use either one of them. Hey, ECAPs, you better watch it. I've been watching your comments there in the chat. ECAPs. ECAPs Q. I've been watching it. I tracked you down, eh? ECAPs, I tracked you down. You didn't know that I tracked you down, eh? Yeah. If you keep it up, I'm going to show your picture on the screen. There you are. There's ECAPs. You made me do it, bro. You made me do it. I didn't want to have to show people your true identity, but there it is. Sorry, man. Made me do it. I know. Cute, eh? Wayne is a PI. Don't fuck with him. Hey, Stats, thanks very much for the Prime sub. I appreciate that. Oh, where did ECAPs go? ECAPs is gone now? Look at that. ECAPs is gone now. All right, well, I hope that really wasn't him. Oops. Quite the looker. Doxed. Yeah. All right. Members on camera there. 18.
Why you bullying me?
Why you bullying me? Okay, hold on. Where was this other video I wanted to show you?
Or a county, a state, or who are in a zone or a county, a state, or a city that has a very high level of dynamic of viral circulation, the CDC would recommend strongly that you wear a mask in a congregate indoor setting. And that would include schools, places of work, anything that brings people together in a closed environment. That is good public health practice. Who are in a zone.
Ban him! Ban him!
Right? Absolutely friggin' crazy. Let me see here. What was this? Biden economic advisor Jared Bernstein downplayed the slowing economic recession concerns. Check this out. Wear a mask on your butt. I think ECAPs left. ECAPs is like, fuck, they found my identity.
Inflation are painful, but manufacturing a recession that puts millions of Americans out of work may not even work on high prices. So it seems weird that's what we're orchestrating. It's not a good way to do business.
So a lot to unpack there, as well as the conversation that Becky just had with Steve. I guess I would really object to this kind of semantic claim. I mean, the two of them just had a very substantive economic discussion that wasn't about semantics. It was about what's going on with key economic variables. The idea that 2 quarters of negative GDP growth is a technical definition of a recession is wrong.
Oh, it's wrong. It's wrong. Yeah, just downplay that, right? You stupid fuck. Hey, just downplay it. Nothing to see here, folks. It is what it is. Check this out. I want to show you this video here. It's just breaking news. Minister Bill Blair denies knowing sensitive information about 2020 Nova Scotia mass shooting was... check this out.
Incorrect.
So it was not assured. You had no idea that
your office obtained assurances from Commissioner Lucky that the type of weapons used in the shooting would be released to the public at the April 28th press conference, correct?
No, that's incorrect.
So it was not assured. You had no idea that that was Commissioner Lucky's expectation in that press
Let
conference?
me be very clear. At no time did I ask Commissioner Lucky to reveal that information. At no time did I direct her in any way in the communications. She did not make any promise to me.
A bit. I'm not asking if you had asked her, but I'm asking if you were aware of the commissioner's expectation that on that April 28th press conference, that information would be released. Were you aware that that was Commissioner Lucky's expectation?
No, I was
You were not aware. Just to be clear, the minister asked you if the weapons used in the attack would be mentioned in the press release.
Why is that so low?
He was speaking of the weapons in the incident, so that would mostly include the weapons seized, because the weapons used were still under forensics. So it was more involved with the weapons.
So low, I can't even hear it myself, guys.
The Minister of Public Safety at the time, Bill Blair, specifically asked you if weapons used during the attack would be mentioned in the press.
So this was a mass shooting that we had here in Nova Scotia, and says was immediately contracted by the RCMP Commissioner Brenda Lord, who says that he explicitly asked her about the beforehand. They knew about the shooter and what he was planning on doing, but they didn't do nothing about it. Wow, what a fucking coincidence that is, eh? Okay, what do we got here? I got a couple links here. Let me see what we got. Did you say forget about your heart? What does it no, Google? What? Oh, I can't. I'm not gonna play that. Let's play this here. Is that the guy that had the fake cop car? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, here, we'll play this.
There has been considerable legal testimony released by the Mass Casualty Commission, which is currently leading the inquiry into the Nova Scotia attacks, by multiple witnesses that supports this narrative that the Liberals inexcusably attempted to seize on the tragic deaths of 22 Canadians, including a pregnant woman, to further their political agenda. This is a very serious matter, and beyond the appalling nature of it, it also has the disturbing consequence of our elected government violating the independence of our national police force, which further fractures the faith Canadians have in our governing institutions.
Oh, really?
And has severe consequences on the integrity of the RCMP, one of Canada's oldest institutions. There has been considerable legal...
They're trying to cover it up. Trying to cover up the whole fucking thing. We knew that for a while. And then they used that incident. They knew that it was going to happen. They knew that they interfered with it, and they let it happen. And then what they did within it was like 3 days. Yeah, Justin Trudeau stood up and it's like, yeah, we're putting a ban on all assault-style weapons and blah, 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 without doing any kind of voting or anything. Just banned everything, which was absolutely ridiculous. Check this out.
If you're Joe Biden and your main... Okay, we do know he's going to lose his sense of smell, maybe forever. What does that mean? No more sniffing little girls. If you're Joe Biden and your main source of pleasure at this late stage in your life is sniffing the hair of unsuspecting, defenseless little girls, and you can't even smell it? Imagine that. Let's say you're riding your bike and you see a little girl and you think, I'd love to sniff her hair. Oh, man, no sense of smell. So actually, the costs of COVID are a little more profound than sometimes we understand.
Come on. That was funny as fuck. That was funny. I don't care what you say. That was funny shit. Biden faces moment of truth. Watch this on economics. Check this out.
Poorer because of Biden policy. What's your reaction?
Well, I think that's accurate. I mean, look, we got record high inflation, 41-year high inflation, rising energy costs, and they seem to not know what's going on. I remember a few weeks back, Janet Yellen said, we're sort of surprised by this inflation. And I'm thinking, how can you be surprised by inflation when you spend like crazy, pay people not to work, and drive up the cost of energy, which means it's going to cost more to move goods all over the country. So I don't know how you're surprised by it. And you can try to redefine it. I mean,
Welcome.
I was intrigued by your reference to the 1970 Steelers. That's when I grew up. I love the Steelers. But I don't think Mean Joe Green and the Steel Curtain could do anything to stop the craziness from this administration and the harmful effects it's having on the American family. I think that's why 9 out of 10 of our fellow citizens think the country's on the wrong track. They think that because it is.
I want to get to this.
Man, we pay so much for our fuel up here. We're paying $1.70, $1.80 a liter. So that's $1.70, $1.80 times 3.71, I believe, or 3.72. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. We're paying like $5 a gallon right now. $6 a gallon.
Thanks for appreciating that reference, which dates us both, but those were good years, weren't they?
Thank you.
According to recent...
Well, I love Jack Lambert. He was my favorite. I mean, you know, I always tell folks, when I was a kid, you know, when you're a kid, you have life figured out. I was going to be the next middle linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers because I love Jack Lambert. But
$2
I'm
a liter, that's
on a
crazy.
good day, so I had to do something else.
Reality. I understand. Here's some reality that I really wish weren't true, although I'm sure we miss you on the gridiron right now.
$2. It's $3.75 a gallon. See, that's crazy shit, man. That's crazy. That's crazier than this individual right here. You want to hear? Hey, Caps, thank you very much for the subscribe. Don't worry, I won't give out your the other information on you. I got you. It says right here, this is my look. Check this out. Where did I just put that? Right here. This picture right here, it says, this is my ex-husband. He gave me 3 beautiful children that we put up for adoption after I came out as a lesbian trans. He accepts me as I am, even though we're divorced. We still co-parent our dog Clinton.
That's nasty.
And I love each other deeply and intimately. That's fucked up, man. That's some fucked up shit. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's nasty.
It's like I'm coming out as a trans woman, trans lesbian woman. Fuck that. Trans lesbian woman. That's me. Figure that one out. It's almost like it's your third, fourth cousin, second through marriage, through Uncle Bobby or Uncle Touchy, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm a trans lesbian woman. Fuck yeah. So now I could talk about these matters. Uncle Touchy. First 5 minutes. Okay, let me see what we got here. First 5 minutes of this. Let's play this. I'm being told to watch this. Better not be some weird
Our
shit.
analysis on CBDC, in particular for the use of general use, we tend to establish the equivalence with cash.
Exactly, Uncle Wayne.
And there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash,
Emotional damage.
A $100 bill today, we don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability.
Is this not the guy on Jurassic Park that crashed his Jeep and rolled down and the dinosaur sprayed shit in his face? You didn't say the magic word. Is this not the same guy?
And also, we will have the technology to enforce that.
Newman.
Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, you gotta love this report. The World Economic Forum pushes
I will send
digital
you
ID,
to Jesus.
the central bank digital currency, ESG, and crackdowns on misinformation in future focus report. They get to determine what is and what is not misinformation. Keep that in mind. We have saw firsthand what.
For some reason, I was reading this as queef. Not weef. W-E-F. I was reading this as queef.
What their impression of misinformation is. And every single time, it was not misinformation. It was information they didn't agree with. They are violating our constitutional rights. They have circumvented it. That's exactly what's going on here. And now I'm going to show you that Joe Biden has absolutely positively killed the U.S. dollar.
No.
You don't know about this.
Joe Biden killed the dollar. No
so I'm bringing
way.
it to you. The World Economic Forum's Future Focus 2025 report is a roadmap for steering society towards a great reset with the help of the great narratives. F the poor. Before we get started, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, and by golly, if you haven't by now, man, you are going to be hurting later on. 3/2 ounce of silver. Real quick, I just want people to know, I just found this out myself. For some reason, Saitama is getting rid of their old SataMask app. So there's a new one coming. So it looks like they're revamping everything when it comes to Saitama. So just be prepared to remove yourself off of the old Saitama website. Just pause right here and read all this, and it'll let
Fuck
you know
that.
what's going
I
on.
don't smoke,
Just
guys.
be ready. So this is actually James Rickard. I think I pronounce his last name wrong all the time.
I don't know what's more shinier, the bar of gold or his head.
Just because it's unusual. It looks like Richards, but it's actually like Rickards. First of
Yeah, we know. I know how he kills the dollar. Biden killed the dollar. Yes, definitely his head. Where did I just see that? I just seen something I wanted to show you guys. Now where the fuck is it? Wayne's head is shinier. No, it's not. Okay, maybe it is. With a forehead like this, my dreams are like the IMAX. See the new movie? Monkeypox Mountain. It's coming out. I think this one's going to be a big hit, guys. We should definitely watch it maybe on the stream sometime. We should definitely watch this one on the stream sometime. Monkeyback Mountain. Oh, okay. Let me play that again. I guess I cut it off too soon here. Hold on. Let me play that.
ounce of silver.
Just remind us.
Ounce of silver. Real quick, I just want people to know, I just found this out myself. For some reason, Saitama is getting rid of their old SataMask app. So there's a new one coming.
I'll let it run through this time.
So it looks like they're revamping everything when it comes to Saitama. So just be prepared to remove yourself off of the old Saitama website. Just pause right here and read all this, and it'll let you know what's going on. Just be ready. So this is actually James Rickard. I think I pronounce his last name wrong all the time, just because it's unusual. It looks like Richards, but it's actually like Rickards. First of all, that's a pretty nice bar he's holding in his hand there of gold. Okay, he did a report that caught my attention, talking about a specific executive order that Joe Biden has already signed into order in the dead of the night without it being voted on, without the American people being informed. We see a lot of that going on, and we need to nip that kind of crap right in its ass. We got a lot of these presidents. It's been happening ever since Bush Jr. has been in office, where they sign these executive orders, bypassing everything else, and implement it like as law. It's only executive order, but are very damaging. Bush did things against the American people with it. Obama did things against the American people with it. Trump did things for the American people with executive orders. And now Biden is doing things against the American people. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here's where Jim Rickards is talking about. Executive
That's
Order
what you're talking about?
14067, ensuring responsible development of digital assets. Yeah, see, they kept talking about cryptocurrencies over and over. But then all of a sudden they wanted to develop their own cryptocurrency. And you heard Turtle Man at the beginning of this video. The CBDC is a type of currency that they are allowed to keep an eye on anything and everything that you do with your currency, but they actually can control what you can and can't buy. It's programmable. Anyways, Jim Rickards points this out about this. Go down to section 4. This is how you know the dollar is dead, when they're not even trying to save the dollar. They don't care to. Section 4, policy and actions related to the United States central bank digital currencies. The policy of my administration on a United States central bank digital currency is as follows. Let's go through this because they want to control anything and everything you do with your money. And they're going to try to pitch this thing like it's the be all, save all. It's going to make everybody equal. You won't be able to commit crimes. They're going to be able to keep track of everything you do with it. First of all, they're violating our Constitution. The fact that they are able to keep data on us, to keep track of everything we do via surveillance, violates our Constitution. And we just let them do it. We can never let them do anything like that.
They could never let you do anything like that. We knew they were doing this shit. This is fucked up. It's nice to watch in a video, though, when somebody presents it like that. If they had no control over it, it would have never been allowed. That is true. That is true. All right, let's see what we got here. What is this?
At a time when everyone is looking to understand the scope of the pandemic and how to minimize the threat, one of the best informed voices is that of businessman and philanthropist Bill Gates.
The process by which this reinvention of Gates's public image took place is not mysterious. It's the same process by which every billionaire has revived their public image since John D. Rockefeller hired Ivy Ledbetter Lee to transform him from the head of the Standard Oil Hydra into the kind old man handing out dimes to strangers.
Don't you give a dime, Mr. Rockefeller? You read a dime?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I consider myself...
Thank you for the ride.
I consider myself more than amply paid.
Bless you, bless you,
Yes.
bless you.
More to the point, John D. Rockefeller knew that to gain the adoration of the public, he had to appear to give them what they want: money. He devoted hundreds of millions of dollars of his vast oil monopoly fortune to establishing institutions that, he claimed,
Where's your dime? I
were
don't
for the
know.
public good. The General Education Board, the Rockefeller Institute of Medical Research, the Rockefeller Foundation. Similarly, Bill Gates has spent much of the past 2 decades transforming himself from software magnate into a benefactor of humanity through his own Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. In fact, Gates has surpassed Rockefeller's legacy, with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation long having eclipsed the Rockefeller Foundation as the largest private foundation in the world, with $46.8 billion of assets on its books that it wields in its stated program areas of global health and development, global growth, and global policy advocacy. And, like Rockefeller, Gates's transformation has been helped along by a well-funded public relations campaign. Gone are the theatrical tricks of the PR pioneers. The ubiquitous ice cream cones of Gates' mentor Warren Buffett are the last remaining holdout of the old Rockefeller handing out dimes gimmick. No.
All right, so just give me 2 seconds here. I just had an article that came in. It's from the Vancouver Times, dated today. It says that the WHO director arrested for crimes against humanity and the WEF may be next. It says update right here. It says that Klaus Schwab is under investigation for mass murder. Klaus Schwab, head of the WEF, is under investigation for mass murder, genocide, and crimes against humanity, according to several sources at Interpol. Schwab faces the death penalty if he is charged and convicted. Schwab also picked up by Interpol radar after he became clear he was using the combination of kickbacks and extortions to... Nothing will happen to him. Let's see. So I don't know if this is true or not, but we're gonna try. We're gonna have to find out. If I hope that's true. So the head of the CDC. Let me see. What was that? I'm gonna have to look into this. I somehow think that it's bullshit. But the WHO director arrested for crime against humanity. I don't think that this is true. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I don't think it's true, but give me 1 sec here. That was the Interpol, eh? It's false. Yeah, that's false. So another fake news. All right.
Tuberculosis and malaria, a public-private partnership that acts as a finance vehicle for governmental AIDS, TB, and malaria programs.
Too good to be true.
When a public-private partnership of governments, world health bodies, and 13 leading pharmaceutical companies came together in 2012 to accelerate progress toward eliminating or controlling 10 neglected tropical diseases, there was the Gates Foundation with $363 million of support. When the Global Financing Facility for Women, Children, and Adolescents was launched in 2015 to leverage billions of dollars in public and private financing for global health and development programs, there was the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation as a founding partner with a $275 million contribution. When the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations was launched at the World Economic Forum in Davos in 2017 to develop vaccines against emerging infectious diseases, there was the Gates Foundation, with an initial injection of $100 million. The examples go on and on. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's fingerprints can be seen on every major global health initiative of the past 2 decades. And beyond the flashy multi-billion-dollar global partnerships, the foundation is behind hundreds of smaller country and region-specific grants. $10 million to combat a locust infestation in East Africa, or $300 million to support agricultural research in Africa and
don't you find it a little funny that the guy that came up with PCs and the operating system Windows, which was like plagued by viruses that would surround the world and people would have to spend millions of dollars in antiviral software that they had to get an update subscription to, so every year they had to pay X amount of money to keep viruses off their PCs and blah 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 and all that other shit. It's amazing how now this guy is now the guy that is running the medical industry, which is viruses that infect people, and it's basically the same concept as a PC, but now using it in real world with viruses, real live viruses. Almost reminds me of like the Umbrella Corporation in those movies and the fictional shit that we used to watch, or we do watch. It's like that. Bill Gates did not write DOS, put his mother on the board of IBM. Bill doesn't know a PC from his butt. Probably overleaked the partner papers. His mom did it. Bill Gates is running the Matrix, Resident Evil. Yeah, Resident Evil. It's almost the same thing. That's the kind of vibe I get from that. Anyways, okay, let's play the rest of this video.
Before joining the WHO, he served as chair of the Gates-founded Global Fund to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria, and sat on the board of the Gates-founded Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, and the Gates-funded Stop TB Partnership. The current round of lockdowns and restrictive stay-home orders in Western countries were enacted on the back of alarming models predicting millions of deaths in the United States and hundreds of thousands in the UK.
Is there even a thing of conspiracy?
Imperial College in London released a COVID-19 report, and that's where most of our U.S. leaders are getting the information they're basing their decision-making on. The report runs us through a few different ways this could turn out depending on what our responses are. If we don't do anything to control this virus, over 80% of people in the U.S. would be infected over the course of the epidemic, with 2.2 million deaths from COVID-19. That 2.2 million deaths also doesn't account for the potential negative effects of health systems being overwhelmed.
From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home.
Enough is enough. Go home and stay home.
A statewide order for people to stay at home.
The work of 2 research groups was crucial in shaping the decisions of the UK and US governments to implement wide-ranging lockdowns and, in turn, governments around the world. Right? The first group, the Imperial College COVID-19 Research Team, issued a report on March 16th that predicted up to 500,000 deaths in the UK and 2.2 million deaths in the U.S.
By a factor of
unless
100,
strict government
exactly.
measures were put in place. The second group, the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation in Bill Gates' home state of Washington, helped provide data that corroborated the White House's initial estimates of the virus effects, estimates that have been repeatedly downgraded as the situation has progressed. Unsurprisingly, the Gates Foundation has injected substantial sums of money into both groups.
Can never forget.
This year alone, the Gates Foundation has already given $79 million to Imperial College. And in 2017, the foundation announced a $279 million investment into the IHME to expand its work collecting health data and creating models. Anthony Fauci, meanwhile, has become the face of the U.S. government's coronavirus response, echoing Bill Gates' assertion that the country will not get back to normal until a good vaccine can be found to ensure the public's safety.
If you want to get to pre-coronavirus, that might not ever happen in the sense of the fact that the threat is there. But I believe with the therapies that will be coming online and with the fact that I feel confident that over a period of time we will get a good vaccine, that we will never have to get back to where we are right
How many
back
did we
now.
lose because of the vaccine, though?
Beyond just their frequent collaborations
And was it the
cooperation
virus
in the
or was
past,
it COVID itself?
Fauci has direct ties to
was
Gates
it the
projects
vaccine
and funding.
or was it COVID itself? Which
in
one was
2010,
it?
he was
That's the other
appointed to the
thing.
Leadership Council of the Gates-founded Decade of Vaccines project to implement a global vaccine action plan, a project to which Gates committed $10 billion of funding. And in October of last year, just as the current pandemic was beginning, the Gates Foundation announced a $100 million contribution to the National Institute of Health to help, among other programs, Fauci's National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases research into
Someone needs to
HIV.
put another pie in Bill's
Also
face.
in October
right?
of last year, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation partnered with the World Economic Forum and the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security to stage Event 201, a tabletop exercise gauging the economic and societal impact of a globally spreading coronavirus pandemic.
It began in healthy-looking pigs.
This is what
perhaps
fucks me
years
right
ago.
here.
A new coronavirus.
The mission of the Pandemic Emergency Board is to provide recommendations to deal with the major global challenges arising in response to an unfolding pandemic. The board is comprised of highly
awesome. Thank you,
experienced
guys.
leaders from business, public health, and
You guys
civil
rock,
society.
man.
We're at the start of what's looking like it will be a severe pandemic. And there are problems emerging that can only be solved by global
The death
business
jab and ad
governments
boosters
working
if it
together.
didn't act
Governments
them
need to be
out.
willing to do things that are out of their historical perspective, or for the most part,
That's what I'm saying.
it's really a war footing that we need to be on.
Given the incredible reach that the tentacles of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have into every corner of the global health markets, it should not be surprising that the foundation has been intimately involved with every stage of the current pandemic crisis either. In effect, Gates has merely used the wealth from his domination of the software market to leverage himself into a similar position in the world of global health. The whole process has been cloaked in the mantle of selfless philanthropy, but the foundation is not structured as a charitable endeavor. Instead, it maintains a dual structure. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation distributes money to grantees, but a separate entity, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation Trust, manages the endowment assets. These two entities often have overlapping interests, and, as has been noted
What bugs
many
me
times
is,
in the past,
I've shown people this
grants
video
given
for
by
over
the
2 years,
foundation
and they still
often
think
directly
it's
benefit
bull.
the value of the trust's
Oh, yeah.
assets.
I've showed people, I've sat down with people, and I've literally like said, listen, don't even listen to what I say. Okay, don't even listen. Like, my experience collecting data, 18 years of being an investigator myself, doing all kinds of stuff, doing all kinds like collecting data was what I did for the better part of my my life. And I started looking at this stuff, referencing, facts checking stuff, getting to sources, doing this, doing that. I put loads and loads and loads of time and effort into like validating what I was showing and stuff. And then all of a sudden, boom. It was like, yeah, but it can't be. Why? Why can't it be? I'm showing you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what it is. And they're like, they just, it doesn't matter. You could literally turn around, Wayne's dick. Yeah. You can literally turn around and put a needle in someone's arm, push it, they get up and drop 6 feet away, and people would be like, oh, it wasn't the vaccine. No, that was just fluke. Okay, we'll do it another 10 more times. Drop. Yeah, they all must have had something. It definitely wasn't the vaccine. Why wasn't it the vaccine? Because I got it and nothing happened to me. Oh, so as long as shit doesn't happen to you, then it never happened to anybody else. That was the whole theory and their way of looking. He's calling me a dick because private investigators back in the day used to be called dicks. So as long as it didn't happen to you, it didn't happen to anybody else, because they're the center of the universe. You guys, you remember that, right? They're the center of the universe. If it didn't happen to them and it only happened to somebody else, then it's their problem and theirs alone, which is exactly these people that are got into positions of power think like. So look at this. Check this out.
This is no mere theoretical conflict of interest. Gates is held up as a hero for donating $35.8 billion worth of his Microsoft stock to the foundation. But during the course of his decade of vaccines, Gates' net worth has actually doubled from $54 billion to $103.1 billion. The Rockefeller story provides an instructive template for this vision of tycoon-turned-philanthropist. When Rockefeller faced a public backlash, he helped spearhead the creation of a system of private foundations that connected in with his business interests. Leveraging his unprecedented oil monopoly fortune into unprecedented control over wide swaths of public life, Rockefeller was able to kill two birds with one stone, molding society in his family's own interests, even as he became a beloved figure in the public imagination. Similarly, Bill Gates has leveraged his software empire into a global health, development, and education empire, steering the course of investment and research and ensuring healthy markets for vaccines and other immunization products. And, like Rockefeller, Gates has been transformed from the feared and reviled head of a formidable hydra into a kindly old man, generously giving his wealth back to the public. But not everyone has been taken in by this PR trick. Even The Lancet observed this worrying transformation from software monopolist to health monopolist back in 2009, when the extent of this Gates-led monopoly was becoming apparent to all. The first guiding principle of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is that it is driven by the interests and passions of the Gates family. An annual letter from Bill Gates summarizes those passions, referring to newspaper articles, books, and chance events that have shaped the Foundation's strategy. For such a large and influential investor in global health, is such a whimsical governance principle good enough? This brings us back to the question, who is Bill Gates? What are his driving interests? What motivates his decisions? These are not academic questions. Gates' decisions have controlled the flows of billions of dollars, formed international partnerships pursuing wide-ranging agendas,
and he's been to Epstein Island
healthy
over,
markets
17
for big
times?
pharma vaccine manufacturers. And now, as we are seeing, his decisions are shaping the entire global response to the coronavirus pandemic. Next week, we will further explore Gates' vaccination initiatives, the business interests behind them, and the larger agenda that is beginning to take shape as we enter the new normal of the COVID-19 crisis.
The new normal of the crisis of COVID-19. For there will be no normal. See, there will only be, oh, fuck you. He's a dick, Microsoft, right? Exactly.
Are the biggest commitment of the foundation, isn't it, Bill? I mean, this is by far the largest.
That's right. We've been spending a lot on vaccines. With this commitment, over 8 million additional lives will be saved. So it's one of the most effective ways that health in the poorest countries can be dramatically improved.
Yeah, and it came out that he actually was making people really sick to the point where they banned him from the country. him and his company. They banned him from the country, and now they're back with COVID. Even the politicians are like, what the fuck? Microsoft always has problems when they launch new products. To Ruby Schuster's right. He's been hundreds of, yeah.
Decade of vaccines having incredible impact. We're announcing that we'll spend over $10 billion on vaccines.
Hailed by the Gates-funded media.
For the record, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is a NewsHour underwriter.
And applauded by the pharmaceutical companies who stood to reap the benefits of that largesse. The record-setting commitment made waves in the international community, helping to underwrite a global vaccine action plan coordinated by the Gates-funded World Health Organization. But contrary to the Gates' own PR spin that this $10 billion pledge was an unalloyed good and would save 8 million lives, the truth is that this attempt to reorient the global health economy was part of a much bigger agenda. An agenda that would ultimately lead to greater profits for big pharma companies, greater control for the Gates Foundation over the field of global health, and greater power for Bill Gates to shape the course of the future for billions of people around the planet. This is Bill Gates' plan to vaccinate the world.
Oh,
You're tuned into the Corbett Report.
The Corbett Report. All right, we're gonna get into that in a minute there. What are we else we got here? Let's just go through. I gotta get through these. Not before. Is he is a fucker. Foundation of puppetry. I don't know why I don't know why I just.
I know it wasn't rape.
Yeah,
there is a
statutory.
Child molest, maybe. I'm not sure. It was something. It was something else, but I don't believe it was rape. And when we get all the information, somebody will tell me in my ear.
He gave her Quaaludes. He gave her champagne. She was drugged. She was 13 years old. He asked her, here's a transcript. But that's what I'm saying. You're 13 years old. She was still a child.
Initially he was charged with rape. Go ahead. And then he pled guilty to having sex with a minor. I have to tell you, again, we're a different kind of society. We see things differently. The world sees 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds and the rest of Europe. They're seen oftentimes.
Well, I wonder what
not charged.
See how she was like protecting that shit? That's fucked up. She wasn't raped. He just had sex with her a little bit. What the fuck? Whoopi. Fucking Goldberg, explain away. Isn't that fucking?
We're getting GDP numbers on Thursday. How worried should Americans be that we could be in a recession?
We're not going to be in a recession, in my view. The employment rate is still one of the lowest we've had in history. It's in the 3.6 area. We still find ourselves with people investing. My hope is we go from this rapid growth to steady growth. And so we'll see some coming down. But I don't think we're going to, God willing, I don't think we're going to see a recession.
And Mr. President, we're getting...
Yeah, okay, yeah. Bullshit. Just like when he said, when we pull out of Afghanistan, don't worry, they're not going to take over, blah, 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 blah. And how long did it take before they took over? I have never liked her or whether it is, I hope, he's fine.
Out, if you look at
the president said today that we're not going to be in a recession. Why is he so confident of that?
So if you look at the economic indicators, as the president was laying out, if you look at the labor market, right now we are seeing historic unemployment. If you look at low unemployment at 3.6, if you look at the average amount of jobs that have been created, it's about 400 per month. Those indicators do not show.
Those indicators show that we're fucked. I remember talking to a financial advisor, and they were talking about somebody that is a financial advisor, and they said that if we ever we were at 2.8% inflation at the time, and they said if we ever got to 4.3%, if the United States ever got past 4.3% interest, it would be a recession, in a depression that we would feel for years to come. Now I talked to that same individual again, which I'm going to try to have on the show, talk to that individual again, and I say we're at like 8.1, and the United States is at 9 point whatever it is, and he's like, yeah, no, there's no way, there is no way, and let me repeat this, there is no way we are getting out of this. 9.1, there you go. There is no way we're getting out of this without having a crash. It's just not going to happen. It will not happen. The more people are dumping in, that's what happens. It always goes up before it does a massive tour. And that's how it was explained to me. I don't know much about the stock markets, and I don't know much about that stuff, but that's how it was explained to me. Every recession and depression that we've had over the years, if you look at history, it all went up, got really good, and then dropped down. Do you know how we get out of this, Wayne? Yeah, we take the people out of the leadership spots that they're in right now. That's how we get out of this. We get them out of there. Like right now, it's so bad here in Canada when it comes to inflation and bullshit that I don't know. I'm stocking up as much as I can right now. That's what I'm doing here in Canada, Ontario. I'm stocking up as much as I can. Out of 41 years, 18 years, over 20 years of my life, 18 years of being an investigator, I have never, ever seen this kind of shit in my life. I've never been able to say that I've seen this kind of stuff happen in my life to the point where, like, I've always been able to say, okay, this group or this company is going to benefit from this. This is why we have this happening in the government. This is why there's so much going on right now in the governments, that in the Commonwealth countries, that they're collapsing us. It's just collapsing. There's no other explanation for it other than the fact that they're collapsing us. And now a lot of people say, well, Wayne, that's because it's the Great Reset. It's because of this, and it's because of that. At this point, normally I would say, I don't really fall for that kind of stuff, blah, blah. I really don't know at this point. I think everything that the conspiracy theory people were talking about is all coming true. So they're saying it's going to collapse. Preppers that I know a guy that preps here in Canada. He's like he's a prepper, but at the same time he's a realist. And for up until about 6 months ago, he was like, you have nothing to worry about. Times are going to get a little hard, nothing to worry. You ask him the same questions, do I have to worry about? Now he's like, fuck yeah. Now you have to worry. Now is when we have to worry. Now is when the supply chain. China, like I told you guys before, China holds 3 major companies that hold all of our preservatives that we put in our food here in North America. 3 of the major food companies, or the preservatives that we put in our foods, there's like 3 chemicals or whatever, come out of China. China stopped pushing it out. They're not putting it out anymore. They're not sending us shit. So what we have is what we have until it runs out. Then we don't have nothing that leaves no preservatives in our food, so it won't make it to the shelf, let alone the fact that the truckers won't be able to get it to the shelf because the gas will cost too much. So the chemicals are killing the U.S., then beg them for help. Exactly, then beg them for help. So it doesn't make any sense in my mind because, look, our governments, North America, Canada, United States, what do they want? They want a Green Deal. They want everything green. Batteries. What do you need to make batteries? You need lithium. Who has the biggest deposit of lithium? Afghanistan. We held Afghanistan for 20-some years. People got killed. What did we do? We gave up the biggest lithium deposits in Afghanistan. Not only did we give it up to them, but we gave them the means to protect it. Joe Biden gave them $90 billion worth of hardware to protect the biggest lithium deposit in the world. What are we all going to? Batteries. That's what we need. Not only on top of that, what are we doing? Oh, there's a war in Afghanistan or in Ukraine right now. What does Joe Biden do right before that? Cuts off the Keystone pipeline between Canada and the United States, and then lifts the sanctions on the oil pipeline in Russia. What do you think Russia was going to do? They took the opportunity to produce more oil and to get what they needed for this war coming, which I believe our governments are complicit in. They're part of this. Our government, the Canadian government and the U.S. government, are working in hand with Russia, and it's one of those wrestling matches where we think that they're fighting with each other, but in fact they're not. We were bought out, and that's why you see all the shit that's happening over there right now. We're sending billions of dollars of hardware and money and equipment. We're sending it over there. Russia's just scooping it up. They come in, they grab the hardware, and they leave. They come in, they grab the hardware, they leave. That's all they're doing. We're draining our resources and giving it to Russia. Why? Because our leaders are traitors. That's why. And then while we're sitting there, while our government is giving them all of our defenses and all of our finances and monies and shit, what are we doing now? Oh, we're worrying whether or not we want to be boys or girls. We got to worry about our kids deciding if they want to be a he, him, her, this, that, whatever. Well, we're all worrying about getting sick with COVID and on lockdowns and everything else. Do you think, you know that China, Russia, North Korea, India, all these places, do you know what they did that we didn't do? They didn't take Pfizer, Moderna, or AstraZeneca. Do you know that? None of them had Russia, China, North Korea, India. None of them took Pfizer, Moderna, or AstraZeneca. None of them. Not one. Do you know Pfizer, one of the biggest companies? What did they do? Oh, 70-some members of the board on Pfizer come from China. There you go. China. Only the countries that are associated and work with North America, the UK, Japan, only they took Pfizer and Moderna and AstraZeneca. The rest of the world that we're actually opposed to, they didn't take it. Here in Canada, we could have produced our own vaccine for COVID. And you know what we did? We bought it from China. So stupid, man. Oh, and Canada gave millions of dollars in research to China. We gave them millions of dollars and said, here, fix the problem that you created. Take our money. Now China's saying, screw you. And we're like, oh, I can't believe China did that to us. And you know how I know it's all a big fucking scam? When they say, take this and it'll do this and it doesn't do that. And if you don't do this and do that, we're gonna take this and this away. They're extorting the people. For what? They're extorting the people. They're losing their jobs and lose. Do you notice the only people that were doing really good were the box stores? Like Walmart never shut down. Target never shut down. All these big box stores, they got rich. Amazon got rich. All the millionaires got rich. While the middle class people took a beating and lost everything. It was all set up from day one. Oh, and then on top of that, Joe Biden turns around, sells 5 million barrels of oil to Asia, 1,000 of which goes to China, and the company that was owned in China happened to be Hunter Biden's. Oh, and the conspiracy of Hunter Biden's laptop, that was all conspiracy. Now it's all coming out. It's all over Twitter. Can you imagine? Could you imagine if Donald Trump's son was smoking crack and running down a beach with no pants on and then videotaping it and it leaked out? Or sitting there with hookers doing cocaine, weighing up all the drugs on the scale? Really? Could you imagine what would happen to Trump? And let me get into Trump, by the way. I still think Trump is part of the problem as well. My gut feeling, I can't prove it, and I know a lot of you guys love him, and I think he would have done a better job. Don't get me wrong, but I still think that he's part of the problem. I have this gut-wrenching feeling, and that in that last speech he did when he compared the rules to China, when he was kind of looking up at China, how they handle their the drug dealers and stuff like that. Maybe we shouldn't take advice from China, the one that's destroying us right now. And then him saying that he's the father of the vaccine with all the information that's coming out now. You think that he would retract that statement? Instead, he still stands by it. I don't know. I just think that the plan was to divide the nation, the strongest nation in the world, turn white against black, turn religious against non-religious, turn people to being gay versus straight, vaccinated versus unvaccinated, and then you turn the left against the right. I just think it's just one more step of dividing the most strongest nation in the world, which is like left against right, blacks against whites, vaccinated against unvaccinated. I just think that it Trump was just part, whether he knows it or not is another question, but I just think that he was part of it, the biggest problem, dividing the nation. I think what everybody should be doing now is standing up. I think everybody should be standing up and sticking together instead of fighting each other. Just Gavin Newsom, fuck off. Yeah, no, I don't know. They want to divide people so bad that you can see it now. You can just see it, and they want that divide, and we're giving it to them. We're giving it. They want chaos so that they can implement new rules and regulations. What the fuck am I watching? Welcome to my high school classroom.
You say hello and I don't reply, got my own friends. You got yours, you don't know me anymore, I'm on the way up. Look at the ground, I won't wait up. I'm not coming down from this. Got a new vibe with this. Got a new vibe with this.
I think if the devil was able to have his way and take over the world, I think the very things that we are witnessing right now, it would be happening. That's my opinion. Let's hear a rant. I think that if the devil could have his way and is having his way, that would be it. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. You honestly think that my kids are going to go to a school like that and they're going to, like, what the fuck are you going to learn at the end of that rainbow other than this fucking delusional piece of shit trying to push his values onto your children? Our most important asset that we have is not money. It's not fucking your bank account or your property or what you own. It's our fucking children, and they're coming after our children, then that is fucking evidence of it right there. They can't make their own fucking children, so they're going to steal yours and mine and indoctrinate them into this kind of bullshit lifestyle. And our kids are so impressionable, they'll see all these colors and they'll be like, oh, wow, yeah, this is what I want to be a part of because this is so fun. Not realizing that these people are poisoning them. This is poison to kids. Kids have a hard time trying to figure out their algebra and their history and all this other shit. You're going to throw a fucking delusional guy like this in there? This is why I homeschool my kids. That's why I fucking homeschool them. If I went to school, my kids were going back to school and that's the kind of shit right there I seen. If I seen this right here and they're like, hi, yeah, I'm going to be the one teach. I'd be like, you know what? You need to get the fuck out of here. I'm not paying taxes. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm not paying my taxes anymore. If that's what my taxes are going to, then I ain't fucking paying them anymore. That's fucking bullshit. I didn't pay for somebody to manipulate my child into confusing them whether or not they're going to be a guy or a girl or he or she or him or they. It's fucking bullshit, man. And I don't give a shit. If you're offended by what I'm saying right now, then this isn't the channel for you. I'm sorry. Okay? It's as simple as that. I think that we need to draw a line in this bullshit right now. This fucking fighting between black and white. Listen, black people are good people. White people are good people. Start standing together and get these youngins that are coming up trying to fucking ruin what we built. Black community, leaders of the black communities need to start speaking to their young people and telling them to stop fucking doing this shit because they're falling right into the hands of the elite and falling right into what they want. They need this fight between white and black. That needs to stop. This bullshit right here needs to stop. People need to start standing together as brothers and sisters and not fucking sitting there looking at each other because of their skin color or any of this other stuff. The only color you should be seeing is fucking rainbows like this, not in your fucking classroom. That's the only colors that I don't want to fucking see right there. I don't want to see a rainbow in front of me. That's bullshit. That does not belong in a fucking classroom. How is a kid supposed to fucking... The kid's going to sit there and spend the fucking first month or so of school just trying to figure out what the fuck it's looking at. Hey, I know we're supposed to be learning about math, but I was really wondering, what is pride? And should I be scared? Like, what the fuck? I will teach my kid about its sexuality. I will talk to my kids about sex. Not you. You are paid to teach my kid how to learn, read and write, do math. That's what you do. Fucking, this is what happens when you don't do proper screening in schools. These people, I'm telling you. And then you know what will happen? That teacher will touch a bunch of kids. Will be like, "Oh, we didn't even see that coming." Oh, you didn't see it coming. You didn't see it coming. The people that want pedophiles to be part of your society, you didn't see that person touching your kid potentially. Oh, idiot. Oh, never even thought. Never thought for a million years that the guy dressed up in high heels, waving at little kids, letting them stick $5 bills in their pants. I never thought he would touch my kid inappropriately. Really? You just thought I'd take my kid to the fucking strip club, let him stuff money down your pants, and you didn't think nothing was going to happen out of that? And you think that was going to fucking be all right? You didn't think that, like... So fucking stupid, man. This shit pisses me off like so bad. This is what I was doing when I was a kid. This was me. This is how confused I was as a kid. What the fuck is going on in the world? There's me. Yeah, well, you know what? The thing about Bruce Jenner, I will say this, okay? I'll say this about Bruce Jenner, okay? Doesn't push his or hers values on anybody else and believes that nobody under age 18 should even be talking or being introduced to this lifestyle. That's Bruce Jenner. You know, for that reason, I can respect somebody. I don't give a fuck if you're gay, straight, lesbian, whatever the case. I don't care if you're into fucking fat chicks or skinny chicks or fat guys or skinny guys. I don't give a shit what you do. It's called a private life for a reason. A private life. Keep your shit private. Nobody needs to know about it, okay? I don't care what you do. You want to go fuck a teddy bear? Go fuck a teddy bear. It's none of my fucking business. You do that. You want to go fuck your fucking pillow? Go fuck your pillow. I don't care. My pillow's got $160 pillows. You might as well get some fucking use out of it. I don't care what you do with it, okay? But our kids do not need to be subject to it. Our kids do not need to be seeing this shit, okay? It just doesn't need to happen. I don't need gay parades running down the street saying, I take it in the ass. That's none of my fucking business, okay? You keep your shit private. That's cool. Caitlyn Jenner, you know what I respect about that individual is that individual keeps their shit private and doesn't think that it belongs around children. That I can respect. Do I agree with Caitlyn Jenner's lifestyle? No. Do I respect that individual? Yes. Why? Because keeping your private life private, not pushing it onto someone else. I'm not here to judge Caitlyn Jenner. The man upstairs will judge Caitlyn, okay? When he gets in front of God, then the judgment will be made. Me, I just have to coincide and live with this individual, and as long as they're being respectful, I can do the same thing. You want to fuck pillows and men and do this and do that, that's your business. Cool. Keep it away from my children and off the fucking streets. There's a reason why they call it your private life. And then you got people that are like, oh, you can't say that, Wayne. You're going to hurt people's feelings. Fuck your feelings, okay? I don't need my kids more confused than they already are with the bullshit that's going on in the world. Lesbians and I have the same thing in common. Yeah, that'd be like me saying I'm a trans lesbian woman. What the fuck? Yeah, I don't need to change anything about it. I still like women. but I'm a woman now. So, but yeah, I still get to date women and everything else. But now I got the umbrella of the LGBTQ community protecting me. So I can now say what I want to say. And fuck, if I want to pop out a baby, I can. Be more like a fucking gallstone, but whatever. It's the same. It's my feelings. You have no right to judge me. Fuck that. You have every right to judge me. The moment you take that shit and bring it into the street, into the public's eye, and you're sitting there all fluffing around, you made it public. I'm making an opinion. And I make the opinion to get the fuck out of the streets because my kids don't need to see that shit. And shame on anybody that brings their kids to that shit. You need your kids taken away from you. You're a piece of shit and a bad parent. Just saying. All right. I'm fucking done with my rant. I want to fucking lose my shit. But you okay, Wayne? The homosexual homeschool you but you're okay with. Yeah, I'm okay because I homeschool my kids. But the problem is that it doesn't need to be on the streets. Peach Fish Hunter, you have a good night. Do you think that Kim Kardashian's mom is hot? Really? I need an Anzac? No, I don't need anything. I need my fucking water. And I need people to stop being fucking worried about other people's feelings. Stop worrying about hurting someone's feelings. Oh, I'm hurting my feelings. I don't want to be able to be here. I'm worried about my kids growing up and having a normal, somewhat normal fucking life in this crazy ass world. I don't need them getting confused by a 400-pound fucking guy with fishnet stockings on. ECAPS, go fuck yourself. ECAPS, I said if you kept it up, I was going to expose you again. I told you. You want me? I'm bringing up ECAPS picture right now. I tap all the what the fuck? You guys are fucking Peach Fish Hunter. Go jerk off or something. Fuck you. You're fucking horny. How the fuck are you talking about horny shit while I'm talking about this shit right now? Here's ECAP's picture. I didn't want to do it, bro. I didn't want to have to tell everybody who you really were, but here it is, ECAPS. Here's ECAPS. There's ECAPS. Sorry, man. You want to be like this in my chat? I'm fucking outing you, bro. I'm outing you. I didn't want to have to do it. Didn't want to have to do it. Oh, and Peach Fish, you still in here? Yeah, I got your picture too, bro. Right there. There's Peach Fish Hunter right there. Available for takings. What are you talking about? That's fucking sexy as shit. All right. Bye.
That's nasty.
Okay, so listen. People are being horse asses. They play stupid games. They win stupid prizes. Enough said. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Listen. So for those that are just joining in now, I'm going to get my COVID shots this weekend, right? I'm getting shot number 1 and shot number 2. You guys are encouraged to join me if you want to go get these shots, okay? And I'm going to be following it up with booster shots as well. So I'm going to be taking my first COVID shot and my second COVID shot this weekend, and I will be doing booster shots right there. All right? There it is. I encourage everybody to be doing COVID shots with me this weekend. I love it. There's always somebody that's, Wayne, what the fuck, man? You're not doing that, are you? You're not doing that, are you? I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm getting fucking shot up. Let's go. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Peaceful protesting. That's what we need to do. We need peaceful protesting, just like back in the day. peaceful protesting. First step to prevention is the shot. That's what I'm saying. And you know what? It has a great side effect of not giving a shit. That's the nice thing about it. Those shots give a nice side effect of not giving a shit. Check this out. World Economic Forum. A depopulation debate front and center. Check this out.
We cannot hide away from human population growth because, it underlies so many of the other problems. All these things we talk about wouldn't be a problem if there was the size of population that there was 500 years ago.
Oh, let's see. Right there, right from the horse's mouth. Literally, the horse's mouth. Bring out the dead, right? I still want to know. Who the fuck went to Epstein's island. How did Maxwell get charged with trafficking children to nobody? There had to have been somebody. So who did she traffic the kids to? I want to know the people on that list, and I want to know why they're not getting arrested. Just saying. Look at this. Still think there's no problem? Oh, we got a white guy and some black kids. Boom, oh, boom. Still think there's not a problem? Seems to be like a game now. Seems to be like a game. Now, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it. If that was a black kid and a bunch of white kids that just did that to him, that would have made national news. Reverse the colors of the kids. That's it. This is how bad it is now in our society. It shouldn't matter who the fuck just got their ass beat like that. Whether it's a white kid or a black kid, it should have made the news, and this should be public for everybody to see. But no, it was just a white guy kid getting what he deserves because great granddaddy may or may not have owned a slave. Who knows? Who knows? But if the roles were reversed and that was a black kid and a bunch of white kids, and they beat up that black kid like that, national news, riots and burning and peaceful protesting all over the fucking place. It would have been all over the place. You not think that it's a coincidence that the most racist person that you can ever fucking imagine being the president of the United States of America is in power right now? They want this war. They want this race war to happen. They need this race war to happen so they can implement their new rules and regulations. They want this to happen. If you cannot see that they want it to happen, then you're blind. And the thing is that people think that this is going to happen right now. Oh, it's they're just getting it out of their system. No, they need this to happen. They want this to happen. Start talking to your children and telling them that this kind of shit is unacceptable. Whether you're white or black, this shit's unacceptable. It's the same reason they don't talk about black slaves owning in the South. There you go. Had there a chance in 2020? I see it. Yeah, they want it. They need this race war. People need to stop seeing color and start seeing character. Treat everybody with respect until they disrespect you. Simple as that. I don't care who you are. Whether you're white, you're black. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. Assholes come in all shapes and sizes and colors. Same as dicks and same as racist individuals. White people, there's some racist pieces of shit out there. Same with black. They're all the same. Everybody's the same. But right now, for some reason, they're just letting it go. Like two wrongs make a right. And their reasoning is, well, we did it to them for hundreds of years, 200 years ago. That was them. I never fucking owned a slave. Why the fuck should I be paying restitution and putting up with this shit? Why do my kids have to worry about this shit? So crazy. People need to start sticking together. Black, white, everybody needs to start sticking together because the enemy isn't black or white. It's at the top. If you're blue, I'll treat you with the CPR, right? It's what they want.
Everywhere to unite, stand up, everywhere are engaged in peaceful resistance against the globalist elite. To the people of Holland, we stand with you. We encourage people everywhere to unite, stand up, step up, and speak up. Post and share the flag of Holland on all your social media sites. Make sure that the people around the world know that we stand with the Dutch farmers as they fight for their freedom and their abilities to be able to provide food for their families. Today, we are all Dutch farmers. Your struggle is our struggle. We applaud your courage, and we fight to defend your land. Your ability to farm and your freedoms are under attack, and we're going to stand with you. So God bless you, God bless Holland, and thank you so much.
You want to know another thing, too? Did you know that what, to the Canadian viewers, do you guys know what Justin Trudeau just did? Justin Trudeau just signed a thing to decrease farmers here in Canada, their fertilization by 30%. But you guys didn't know that, eh? Here in Canada, Justin Trudeau just passed a thing where the farmers have to reduce their fertilization or purchase or whatever by 30%. That just happened. I think it was like a week ago. Yeah, 22, exactly. It took me a little bit to actually find it and to verify it, because I heard about it about a week ago when you brought it up, but I wasn't able to verify it until just like yesterday. Canada is next on the list for shortages because of the no fertilization. Yeah, you could see it. I could see it happening. Canada is China. Yeah, it's sad. It's very sad. I didn't have brothers and sisters die for this country, so some little punk could take it over and run it into the ground. You can bet they're gonna try for sure. Shovel chicken shit. Why bug plant in Canada? They want to trade everything. They want to change everything to protein, less carbon, less meat, blah blah blah. Look at this. I call bullshit on this. This was Fox News that released this thing. It says can carry a 26,000-pound vehicle and 16 tons of cargo. Largest and most powerful U.S. military helicopter. Can lift an aircraft carrier. Can lift an aircraft carrier. Do you think there was a typo there? I think there was a typo there. Wayne is what? Bargaining? Why am I? What? How am I bargaining? I think there was a fucking typo there.
Feel about Steve Bannon, the fact that he has been, no matter what you think or feel about Steve Bannon, the fact that he has been found guilty of contempt of Congress, yet others have faced no consequences at all. People like James Clapper, for example, sat before the U.S. Senate under oath and lied directly about an NSA program that was conducting mass collection on millions of Americans. Or John Brennan, for example, as CIA director, he spied on Senate staffers, lied about it, and also broke into Senate computers to read emails from whistleblowers to members of Congress.
Yeah, it can land on an aircraft, but they're saying lift. Lift. Definitely a typo. All right, sorry, I cut that other video off, and it was a good video.
No matter what you think or feel about Steve Bannon, the fact that he has been found guilty of contempt of Congress, yet others have faced no consequences at all, people like James Clapper, for example, sat before the U.S. Senate under oath and lied directly about an NSA program that was conducting mass collection on millions of Americans. Or John Brennan, for example, as CIA director, he spied on Senate staffers, lied about it, and also broke into Senate computers to read emails from whistleblowers to members of Congress. Now, both Clapper and Brennan kept their jobs and to this day still have faced no consequences at all, what to speak of being charged and prosecuted and found guilty of the crimes that they committed. Now, this is just the latest example, unfortunately, of how our Department of Justice has become a political weapon being used by those in power to go after their political enemies. No matter what you think or feel about...
Ain't that the truth? This is so-called sixth hearing is not a hearing. There is no cross-examination. If there is similarly Democrats a day, it is. That's why I stopped watching it, because that's exactly what it is. It's not a hearing. There's no cross-examination. All they're doing is just pointing out everything and trying to get people's attention to look in this direction while they're doing shit in other directions. That's all it is. It's just bullshit after more bullshit after more bullshit. That's all it is. Distraction. Contempt of Congress on, witch hunt.
But there's nothing wrong with Make America Great Again. That's the mindset that we need to have. And then there's
Why is my volume down so low? This can lift about 160 pounds of bullshit. Can you guess what it is? This can lift 160 some pounds of bullshit. Do you know what it is? I don't know if that's what he weighs, but no, that's 300. Oh, no. It's not Biden. Oh, fucking fooled you guys. Fooled you. This can't happen soon enough though, I bet. I trolled you guys so bad there. I bet you can't wait for that to happen though again, eh? I bet you can't wait for that helicopter to drop and then him come out of it. That'd be a good day. I don't think it's going to happen though. I think they're going to do something way before that happens. Dick. And that's why I said 160 pounds, because I know he weighs more than that. He eats McDonald's. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to do something. Something's going to happen. No, Donald Trump's like 130, 140 pounds. He's a big boy. He's definitely a big boy. Here's some more white people going crazy. Yeah, and meanwhile, people just sitting around, doing nothing. Freaking crazy white people, I'll tell you that much. It's the vaccine. It's making people fucking crazy. Donald Trump was like 220. Is he? Yeah, maybe. I could see that.
And legs and things. The Battle of the Bulges. And here are some of the latest mechanized units on maneuvers, or rather, womaneuvers. If you want to look like a sea nymph, you board the streamliner, and away you go to health and happiness. It curves you right. There's a tum and place for everything, but the tum isn't the right place.
How many times do you think this machine fucked up?
Well, it all started with a rib, and now it's a rub. Eve certainly moves with the times, and
I can't see nothing bad happening here.
she's making sure that her moves will be graceful.
Come on, she's making sure her moves are graceful. What the fuck's she doing? You know what she's doing.
The Battle of the Bulges is still on.
Girls and women. See, even back then they knew what the fuck they were doing. Even back then they knew what a woman was. 1940. Ukraine war on Russia, waging gas wars in Nord Streams. One cut, says Zelensky's. Okay, yeah, they're going to have problems. Big deal, big deal. Whatever.
Relates to the competitiveness of the industry. We work every day in a very competitive environment, and we work hard to bring the best value for money.
Look at this standing committee. Oh, do you remember that big? Do you remember that that big outage we had here in Canada with our internet, phone companies, the whole 9 yards going out dark? Here's the CEO
Part your
of the
question
company.
Relates to the competitiveness of the industry. We work every day in a very competitive environment, and we work hard to bring the best value for money for our customers and for Canadians. It's in our interest to do so. They have alternative and they have choice.
Wait, so you think Canadians have alternative and choice in this marketplace?
Very much so.
And you're saying that with a straight face? Okay, I'm running out of time, so here's another one you can maybe answer with a straight face. Do you think this is the end of the Rogers-Shaw deal?
The coming together with Shaw is about creating scale in an industry where scale is important. It allows us to do two important things.
They say that Rogers. They say people have choices, but yet when Rogers went down, every communication device went out. Rogers or Bell, big choice, exactly. Every company in between went completely out, went dark, and they're saying, "Oh, you have choices. You have choices." We don't have choices. Dude sounds like a robot. Yeah. Crazy.
Director General of Health and the Ministry of Health.
Okay, let me see. Right here. That's not what I wanted.
We being the Biden administration, we have sent billions to Ukraine to protect their borders, even as we have opened our own to the world. Why are we doing this exactly? Well, as Joe Biden has told us repeatedly, doing his Winston Churchill imitation, we're doing it to protect democracy. But of course, the irony here is Ukraine is not a democracy in any recognizable sense. The Ukrainian government has banned media outlets that are hostile to it. They've also shut down opposition parties. They arrested the main opposition leader. That's a democracy? So because we allowed that to happen, in fact, we funded it all, now the Ukrainian government has decided that they can impose censorship in our country.
Thank you guys for everything tonight. You guys rock, man.
Russian propagandists, Americans.
People get offended, and
that list includes Rand Paul, Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, Tulsi Gabbard, who's serving in the U.S. military, and Glenn Greenwald, among many others.
You guys rock
so
tonight.
Speak to a couple.
Thank you so much for being here.
Glenn Greenwald, he's an independent journalist. His work is on Substack, among other places. Glenn, thanks so much for coming on. So you're being blacklisted by the Ukrainian government, which is a beacon of democracy. Tell us how this works.
Yeah, I mean, I thought President Zelensky had a war to run. Apparently, he has a lot of time to watch the Morning Joe show on MSNBC, where they sit around for hours accusing everybody they want to discredit of being a Kremlin agent and teaching American liberals how to do the same. You know, it's easy to mock, but it's actually quite outrageous, Tucker. The Ukrainians have a conflict
Cook a pizza, eat
with
ice
this
cream,
neighboring
and watch
country in Russia. They're
Supernatural,
totally
right?
free to pursue whatever war policies they want. They can fight Russia for the next 10 years if they choose. But that's not what they're doing. They're begging and, in a sense, demanding that other countries, including my own, the United States, provide them with a seemingly endless supply of weapons and money, which means we not only have the right but the obligation to debate that and ask whether that's in the interest of the American people to do. And so for Zelensky to essentially try and export the repression he's imposed in his own country here to the United States by shutting down debate and accusing those of us asking questions of being
I heard the
Kremlin
same
agents or
thing.
Russian propagandists takes incredible gall,
And I think
while
that's-
he's also demanding that we
I think that I'm going to cut that off for a minute. I think that they're days away from surrendering as well, and I think that's why the UN and Poland has a huge amount of army and tanks and everything ready to go, because I think that I don't think the West can allow and the UN can allow Russia to take Ukraine. They can't allow it to happen, because if it does happen, then what happens is it's going to be right on NATO's front door, and they don't want that. They can't have that. Ukraine is too big to fall to them. Yeah, I just think that they want that to happen. They're gonna drag the United States and everybody else into war. Yeah, so if Russia's going to end up taking it, well, and then you're going to see we're going to end up getting involved. It's going to be world war. It's going to be, it's World War III now as it is. Russia, China, Pakistan, they've all declared it that we're in World War III right now. They've all declared it. So you have one side saying, yeah, fuck them. When they're done with Ukraine, do you think that they're just going to stop there? No. They're already engaged in, we're at World War right now with the rest of the war. We're at war with them. Fuck them. That's why they stopped all the imports and exports of grain and everything else coming in and out of there now. They're going to try to choke us off. America will have to bring back the draft then because nobody is signing up under Biden. That's exactly what's going to happen. I could see that happening. If we get in it, we all die. I guarantee you, because if you look in Poland right now, like Buddy was saying on that other video that we were playing earlier tonight on the show, they were talking about it that there's over 1,000 tanks in Poland right now. Like they're getting ready for war. They know it's going to happen. Russia will not stop until they take it. And the United States and Europe cannot allow it to happen. So it's going to be fucked. And you know the worst thing about it is that there's like I sit and I think hard sometimes because I'm like, our government is trying to kill us. What are we fighting for? We fighting to keep the people we have in power now. Like you see how confusing that is for soldiers now? Do we fight for a government or a regime that is trying to kill us? Or do we allow the opposition to neutralize them and then we take it back afterward? Like you see how fucked up that is? That's going to fuck a lot of people up, man. That's going to fuck a lot of people. People aren't going to want to fight. People aren't going to want to fight Russia. Not when Russia starts pushing out the facts that United States government was behind all of the production of COVID-19 and all the labs funding them and everything else. I don't know. I just think it's all a big psyop. It's all big. The biolabs. That's what I'm saying. I think the shit in Ukraine is all psyop anyways. I don't believe in half of the shit that's going on over there. But I believe it's an excuse to cause a war. Russia, if you think that Russia is trying to take over Ukraine right now, Russia's just playing around. I think that they certainly better than Pedo Pete. I would say the same thing. Yeah, man, I can't even say what I think because I'm on Twitch, but I'm telling you right now, I would rather be in Russia right now with their tyrannical laws and rules than a government that could take you out and kill you, not knowing what you're doing. Oh, you could do that. Then you turn your back and they're fucking stabbing you with something that kills you. It's so fucked, man. I don't know. I don't think we're lost yet, though. I think we still got a good fight. Ukraine wants Russia, Putin's side. China is going to Taiwan. That's what I think. Oh, yeah. China will take Taiwan, and then, it's gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna be a fucking nightmare. Do you think you'll have to be fully vaccinated? Something big is coming this weekend, and is what every source is telling me. Yeah, no, I was just talking about that at the beginning of the show tonight. That something's coming. There's a big show, best show ever, Wayne. When? Tonight? Or are you talking about like the world, like this whole movie we're in? If draft has to happen, send all the prisoners population. That's what I'm saying. Send all the fucking people that are in the parades. They seem to occupy the streets good enough. Send all those fuckers over first. I say send all those guys that want to wear rainbow dresses. They go out, and then when they distract the enemy, we could take over from there. Send all the fucking rainbows down one field while they distract them and they take fire. We can get them we can flank them. Everybody be safe and get supplies if you can. Love you all. Love you too, brother. That's what I've been trying to do, is just stock up, and stock up. Half dirty, half billion, right? So messed, man. We're in some messed up times right now. Trump is in it with China and Russia. This was a way to break the U.S. deep state. It's gonna be war. It's gonna be war.
Dyer from Stranger Things. First of all, she killed it in Stranger.
It's gonna be fucked right up. That's what's gonna happen there. This is Canadian tank. Canadian tanks are on the move. That was our Canadian tanks. I don't think they're gonna make it to Ukraine though. Fuck. All right, what is this? Oh, is this the yeah, oh, this is an hour and a half long. I'm going to watch this tonight. 900. I'll watch that link. Pope Francis apologized to the indigenous people today. Yes, I seen that. I was going to talk about it tomorrow because it's a pretty big topic, but Pope Francis came to Canada and spoke and apologized to the indigenous people here for the church's role in the mass murder of innocent children, women and children here in Canada. Talk about opening up Pandora's box right there. Like, just completely opened it up. Justin Trudeau can't even show up, but, you know, hey, the Pope can fly. The federal government crumbles around him.
Talking about defunding the police.
There's some issues that we ask police to do, like mental health issues or policing in schools and all the rest, that perhaps we can shuffle some of that money around.
Suck it up. Defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police.
Mayor Eric Garcetti saying, take some of the money from policing, about $150 million.
I applaud Eric Garcetti for doing what he's done.
Not only do we need to disinvest in police, but we need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
So yes, defund your butts. Defund you.
Yes, I support the reallocation of resources from NYPD.
We will be moving funding from the NYPD to youth initiatives and social services.
They are talking about reducing the allocation of resources to that department. And I think every single city in this country ought to be thinking about the same thing.
Yes, I support the defund movement. I'm for responsible reallocation of resources.
And defund the police.
I think you do all those other things, you don't need all the money that's going to the police department. So yeah, I mean, the spirit of it, I do support that.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of us were asked if we could imagine a future without police back in 2017 when we were running for office. And I answered yes to that question.
We are going to reduce funding in the police department and redirect that money.
There's no reason the police budget should just keep growing and growing and growing. They can make sensible cuts to policing.
We propose to redirect over $7 million from the Police Bureau.
That our city, through our city administrative officer, identified $250 million in cuts.
Rashida Tlaib tweeting, no more policing, incarceration, and militarization. It can't be reformed.
When they're saying defund the police, what are they saying? They're saying we want fundamental, basic change when it comes to policing. And they're right.
We are reallocating funds. The police department here in Minneapolis needs to be dismantled.
They want to dismantle the police because this way here they can bring in the feds, and then it'll be federally ran, and then this way here the government has control over the state's police force instead of the states having control over their own police. They want to defund the police so they can bring in feds. That's what they want.
And we need to start anew.
In some necessary cases, completely dismantling those police forces.
Police departments are taking a sizable
amount of the budget of a lot of municipalities and other entities. We need to look at those budgets, pull some of the money back, and invest it in other things.
We are committed to shifting resources.
Our calls to defund the police have been met with resistance.
To stop investing so much money in this militarized police force and instead invest in the things that our community really needs.
Yes, I support a radical reimagining of community safety and public safety.
I do believe that we need to reallocate resources away.
And will this involve cuts? Yes, of course, to every department, including the police department.
And so when we dismantle it, we get rid of that cancer.
When we said defund the police, the world woke up.
I really love that Black Lives Matters and other protesters have put this front and center to defund.
Defunding police means defunding police. If these reports are accurate, then these proposed cuts to the NYPD budget are a disingenuous illusion. This is not a victory. The freshman Democrat adding, the fight to defund policing will continue.
We are going to reimagine policing in New York City.
I think the idea of having a police-free future is very aspirational, and I am willing to stand with community members who are asking us to think of that as the goal.
Should be
a police-free nation. Think about that for a second. No police. Oh yeah, that should go over just fine. All these fucking snowflakes melt in 24 hours like the purge. I guarantee you. Get rid of the police, and all these fuckers will be the first one dialing 911. I guarantee it.
Defunding or dismantling their police departments, such as in Minneapolis and New York?
My answer is yes to that. We need to be looking at it clearly.
Which means reallocating and not further investing in a carceral
exactly
state.
Going through
exactly,
a process
John.
Of dismantling that institution.
So defunding the police, for me, it means a reallocation of funds.
Why use the word defund? Why use the word defund? And it's like, this is the word that's coming from the streets, you know?
We're going to dissolve the gun violence reduction team, the school resource officer program, and the transit specialty units.
You don't have one bad apple. You don't have four bad apples. You have a system-wide problem in that police department. And only by completely dismantling that system and rebuilding it intentionally with the community members at the table, do you have any hope of getting it right?
Coming together as a community to reimagine what public safety looks like for us.
We talk about defunding the police, defunding the Pentagon.
My push is that we defund our police departments.
This idea of reprioritizing our budget, this idea of moving funds and reinvesting.
It means that we need to look at ways in which we can reduce the amount of resources that we're providing to the department, redirect those funds.
To make sure that that defund is first understood and that we bring that home to our community. So Minneapolis unanimously just voted on a resolution that will engage the community on a one-year process of what happens as we go through the process of dismantling the department and starting anew.
What we committed to was a community process to help reimagine public safety.
The city council in Minneapolis made the right decision.
So when we talk about defunding, it can show up in multiple ways.
We obviously took money out of the NYPD budget, put it into youth programs, put it into social services, put it into recreation centers for young people. That's really the right direction. I'm glad we did that.
Not only do we need to defund, but we need to dismantle and start anew. Allows us to really reimagine what public safety should look like in our community.
It means a dramatic reduction in the number of police in our poor communities, and particularly our
Defund with Wayne,
Black
right?
and brown communities.
ECAPs, don't make me show your picture again.
Yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice to make sure that overfunded police departments are defunded?
Our commitment is to end our city's toxic relationship with the Minneapolis Police Department, to end policing as we know it.
And so what we are advocating for is a reorientation, reimagining of what public safety should be.
It's crazy. Crazy fucking times we live in, man. Crazy times we live in.
So we've been talking about defunding the
police. Defund the police and then watch. You know what will run the streets?
Comedy is under attack. People get offended, and there's a new culture out there who can get offended first and for other people. And that's the weirdest thing in the world. I had that at a show I did once. There was a blind gentleman in the front row, and I was teasing the blind guy, and he was having a great time. After the show, he said, most people ignore that I'm even there, so thank you for making me feel like a part of it. And that's where his head was at. But during the show, I'm teasing the blind guy, and a woman in the back is like, excuse me, I'm offended. I'm like, what? Why are you? Because don't talk to him anymore. I'm offended for the blind gentleman. I'm like, you're offended for him? He's laughing. He's facing the wrong way, but he's laughing. And to his credit, this is the best part. I go, do you know her? He goes, I've never seen her a day in my
life. And that's the problem that we're having right now is a lot of fucking white people are fucking trying to be part of the this thing, that movement that's going on right now. And they feel like they need to overstep their boundaries by trying to do more for the black communities and this and that. And then they end up being the fucking problem. There's always a Karen out there somewhere. I just hate the fact that people are treating people differently based on the colors of their skin. Everybody's the same. Fuck. All right, what do we got here? Let's all get rid of the cancel culture permanently, right? Let's just go back to the days of this. Right? Let's just go back to this. I was perfectly fine just hanging around in the backyard, dragging my hair in the water. You know, I was fine with those days. You know, you don't have these days anymore like that. I don't color just people good and bad. People are just fucking arseholes. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Let me speak to you directly, Hunter. I asked the FBI where your laptop was, and it seems they've misplaced it. How weird. But it just turns out that I have a copy right here. I entered it in the congressional record. We have your texts, we have your emails, we have the payments from Burisma, we have your travel records, we even know the Chinese communists who own you. You and the big guy have never lived one day under real Republican oversight. So these aren't going to be the days of Lindsey Graham breathlessly promising us every night that he's about to bring Hunter Biden in any moment. I got Jim Jordan and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert with me now, and I have a lot of backup coming in 2024. We will expose the corruption of this administration, just like we exposed the origins of the Wuhan virus, the Fedsurrection on January 6th, and the stolen 2020 election.
Oh, man, he said a fucking mouthful there. Woo. What do you think? Wow. Wayne doesn't get hit by the COVID bus on your way to the camp, right? Nope. That right there. Boom. Enough talk. Time for action. That's what I'm saying. Time to get out there and do something about their shit. Nothing will happen. I don't know. I just have this gut-wrenching feeling. Nothing's gonna happen. Yep. Remember that feeling I had, John, right before the elections? I got that same fucking feeling again. Same fucking thing. Hey, John, recruitment is down and we don't have no idea why. Hey? Why do you think recruitment is down? Doesn't make any sense why nobody wants to be part of it. I guess they will have to draft us. Oh, shit. Bread goes in, toast comes out, but where does the bread go? Oh, fuck. Bread goes in, toast comes out, but where's the bread go? I don't know.
2.5 years later, that anywhere from 50 to 60% of the transmission occur from someone without symptoms, either someone who never will get symptoms or someone who is in the pre-symptomatic stage. Had we known that then, the insidious nature of spread in the community would have been much more of an alarm, and there would have been much, much more stringent restrictions in the sense of very, very heavy encouraging people to wear masks, physical distancing, or what have you. We know now.
Yeah. Expendables, Morris, NetPC, Lori. Wayne, hashtag call the Expendables, Morris, NetPC. Where are they? They know where I am. How come they're not in here? Men and trans men, the rest of us go to safety if they do like Ukraine. Listen, I'm a trans woman, a lesbian woman. I'm a trans lesbian woman. I'm good to talk about these topics, all right? It's just how it is. You guys are fucking awesome tonight. Excuse me. We got Morris, right? You guys are awesome. I love you guys. I love you. Have I told you lately that I love you? Listen, every single night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go live. Every night. Even Sundays I've been going live. Sundays I usually take off, but I've been going live on Sunday. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 12. You can catch me out on YouTube. You can catch me on Twitter. You can catch me on all my social media platforms. Check them out. Go see them. And, of course, you can hit me up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on watchwithwayne@hotmail.com. If you need somebody to talk to, keep your head up and out of sight. Tell your loved ones you love them tonight. Don't wait for tomorrow because tomorrow's not promised. And most importantly, if you can't be good at it. You guys have been absolutely friggin' awesome today. I just want to let you guys know that I did do the incentive program like we talked about earlier. So if you guys haven't got your subscriptions for next month and you don't want stupid ads, please do so. I understand everybody's having a hard time. That's the way the world works right now. And Twitch is giving out incentive programs to help offset the cost of streaming and stuff like that. So, but that means more ads. So $4.99 or more ads. Whatever way you guys want to support or help out, I appreciate all the love and support that you guys do. And of course, just being here is good enough for me. Okay, guys? I love you. Keep your head up. Keep it out of sight. Tell your loved ones you love them tonight. I love you guys. I really do. Prime subage. If you have Prime subs, I'd appreciate them. You get all the benefits, and it's a win-win. Listen, let's roll these credits. I want to say thanks to everybody that helped out with the stream tonight. All the moderators and everybody. I'm a real man. I want to say a special thanks to all the people tonight that cheered Montroy, One Yellow Eye, all the moderators. Thank you very much for everything. I really appreciate Montroy for the sub, One Yellow, Souls, E-Caps, and let's go, Brandon. Thank you guys for the resubs. You guys rock. Every little bit helps. Until tomorrow night, guys, keep your head up, and let's do a raid. I love you guys. Be good. Be good at it. Let's do it. I love you guys. Trying to catch me howling at the moon. Let's do it. Stay for the raid. Let's do it. Bow. Boom.